Can people see us? Can people hear us? Hello, hello. Welcome,
so.
everybody. Oh my goodness. Everyone give a wave and hello. Hi.
Wave as well. Hi.
We're here. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the third annual Talk Like Josh the Pirate Day for Game 4. Oh my goodness. My name's Owen. For those of you who don't know me, I am the Dungeon Master for the Lost Archives, which is a Twitch and YouTube D&D and Avatar Legends series. We are so excited to all be here. Before we go through all the announcements and things like that, I think we should introduce everybody else. So, without any further ado, probably because it flows on really nicely from me being in the Lost Archives, I've also brought along one of my players / patsies, Dave, who also plays with me.
He says brought along, but I begged. I was like, hey, can you please bring me? I introduced my character, Owen. Is that what we're doing?
Do you want to? Yeah, I mean, I can introduce yourself and then just briefly, I reckon, say like who you're playing, and then we'll go into a proper character introduction. I've got like a narrative way to introduce them when we start the one shot.
I'm Dave. I'm based in Melbourne. I'll be playing a cute little goblin named Barry. And yeah, he's based a bit on Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, the best cartoon.
You're doing the voice today, right?
Sure am. I'll talk like this.
Oh god, outstanding. I think we should then introduce the second part of the dynamic duo that is Corsair's Cove. Karen.
Hello, I am Karen. Yes, sometimes known as the Mother of Bunnies. I am the other half of Corsair's Cove. The first half being Josh the Pirate, who's grabbing a few hours of sleep at the moment because we've been streaming for 12 hours now. And he only got to go off duty about math 2 hours ago. So yeah, he's getting a little bit of shut-eye right now. He'll be back later. But yeah, I'm a performer, a writer, and I hang out playing nerdy games online as for fun.
Very entertaining while you do so. I often, because your Baldur's Gate stream starts right as we're kind of wrapping up our D&D stream, so I'm always just like immediately loading in just to enjoy you guys playing Baldur's Gate 3.
Awesome. Man, I would be playing so much more Baldur's Gate 3 if I did not have to like work and make money sometimes.
Yeah,
the real burden.
I absolutely agree with that. And then Starfield came out too for me, so I'm like, oh no, pulled in two directions. Baldur's Gate 3 still winning this day.
It's pretty great. Obviously. It's pretty great.
Alrighty, and then I think we'll just go in order as we go down. Agent number 1.
Hello, I am Agent number 1. I'm going to be playing Globragra. Who is
one more time?
Okay. Don't worry, we'll go through it a few times, I'm sure, throughout the course of the campaign. It is I'm playing a basically catfish person warlock, which I'm very excited about. For D&D stuff, I part of the Wonders and Blunders podcast, which has its second season coming out next month. We're just announcing that tomorrow, so this is a bit of a surprise early announcement, I guess. And I'm also I'm a Twitch streamer. You can find me over at twitch.tv/agent number 1. That's where I live Monday through Fridays, playing all sorts of strategy games and role-playing games and all sorts of stuff.
What are you playing at the moment? What's kind of your go-to right
RimWorld is what I'm currently on a big RimWorld kick right now.
Are you going the organ harvesting meta or?
No, I'm doing a big medieval village, trying to fill up the entire tile. I'm doing the whole tile challenge right now.
Oh,
it's very fun.
Yeah, that's a long one too. That's a big commitment time-wise.
It's a bit of a big one. Yeah, I'm definitely a bit off a big chunk there, but
that's outstanding. Josh.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. I'm Josh. How is everyone? Everyone good? Yeah.
Good, man.
Good. I'm Josh. I will be playing a character called Jax, who will introduce a little bit later on. You can find me normally on Roll Together RPG on Mondays and Tuesdays and Fridays, and you can also find me on Monday evenings, Australian time, with the Lost Archives until Owen decides to kill me off.
Hey, whoa! Excuse me. We did come dangerously close, like a session or two ago. Like we actually started describing his death scene, and then one of the other players was like, "Hang on, you're wearing adamantine armor, Josh. You can't. That crit wouldn't knock you to 0." Oh. That was intense.
It was.
And last but not least, Catalyst.
Catalyst Online, or Suggie Daddy, as I've started to try and stream with the new model here. I'll be playing Bai, as in Eyes the Bai, I think, as in Eyes the Bai that builds the boat. An old Newfie song for any Canadians that know it. Goblin Blade Singer. I'm going to be, for the most part, just a viewer, is all I would be known as, of some of Owen's streams and other ones like that, and hoping to get into more things and possibly join more games in the future.
Absolutely encourage that. It's buckets of fun, as I think everyone else here will attest to, being part of and running like RPG sessions and playthroughs. It's just so much fun. Yeah, so thank you everybody for joining us. There's some few announcements I'll go through, but I realized I probably should have done a little bit more of a spiel to say where you can find my stuff. I always do this. I don't say anything about my own shit. You can find our sessions over at twitch.tv/The Lost Archives and YouTube at The Lost Archives. At the moment, we're running 3 RPGs a week. Curse of Strahd on a Monday night, which, as I said, Josh Devil Knight comes and joins in as a guest character. And just hasn't left. So, I mean, that's fine with me. I'd love having Josh around, so I'm not killing him off anytime soon. We've been really enjoying the Curse of Strahd campaign. On Tuesday nights, we play Avatar Legends, which is Avatar The Last Airbender RPG. So it's basically powered by the Apocalypse system. If you've never seen it or played it, I thoroughly recommend it, especially for people who are fairly new to RPGs. It's one of the best streamlined systems I've ever run. I'd compare it to like Kids on Bikes in terms of how easy it is to play, but how fun it is as well. I really, really like it. It's awesome. And then on Wednesday, we run a homebrew 5th edition campaign called Return of the Giants, which is a long-running campaign that leads on after the conclusion of our Tyranny of Dragons campaign, which we wrapped up earlier this year, which I think we had like 104 episodes total of that. It was a very long campaign. So at the end of that, we've then immediately pivoted onto this new homebrew campaign, which has been lots of fun. And ideally, right as we were like up to episode 10 of that, Wizards of the Coast were like, hey, we're producing this whole new source book called Big B's Glory of the Giants, which is all about the Giants. Fantastic timing. Thank you so much for that, Wizards of the Coast. That's been awesome. So we've been showcasing a lot of the really cool new things that have come out as part of that too, which is outstanding. Alrighty, let me do some announcements really quickly before we jump into the one-shot. I know you're all very, very keen to get into the one-shot. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, obviously, this is for a charity live stream event, what we're doing, the Talk Like Josh the Pirate Day, and we need to make sure that you guys know who we are supporting. It's Childhood Cancer Support, who are essentially supporting sick kids and crucially their families as well. Childhood Cancer Support make sure they offer counselling services, family unit accommodation, hospital, airport transfers, social support services to the families of children with cancer. I mean, as we all know and can imagine, cancer is one of the most horrible things that can happen to any family, for the child, but also for the parent. And what Childhood Cancer Support do is take some of the load off the logistical side that the family would otherwise have to shoulder and burden, which makes it a much easier time for these families who are going through really tough situations. It's amazing that that Josh and Karen have been able to help them out and run this event. So we're really, really grateful to the both of you and to everyone who's helped support this incredible live stream event. Ooh. There are also 4 wonderful sponsors who we probably should mention, and a whole bunch of awesome people who've given up some prizes and their time for the charity stream today. Wooten Forge, Roll with Advantage, my boys Meeples and Dragons, and Troll Lord Games, who have all donated to the prize pool, which is substantial. Every 5 Australian dollary dues you donate enters you for a chance to win some fabulous prizes. 3 $50 gift cards from Meeples and Dragons online store, a Jarrah Dice Keeper and 2 Jarrah Adventurers chests from Wooten Forge, 6 sets of gorgeous dice, and a whole mess of stickers from Roll with Advantage. And Troll Lord Games have actually contributed gift cards as well for their online store. And I should also give a quick shout out. They're running a Kickstarter right now for the Codex Infernium and Codex Exaltum expansions. If you have not checked these out, they are stunning. The artwork alone just has me going, So please go and check out their Kickstarter as well. Karen and Josh, thank you so much for running this. We seriously are just so grateful to all of you for having us on and having us be part of this event. So if any of you are watching or listening now or have been or will be jumping on a little bit later, if you are able to hit that donate link in chat, all donations, however large, are so gratefully accepted. So thank you so much. In Josh's words, you bloody champions! I think we have to do it in Josh's voice, right? Like, it's pretty standard to, yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. Josh impressions are not only encouraged, they're practically mandatory today.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna have another go at that a little bit later. Oh shit, I'm gonna do an NPC for all right, seriously.
10
so yeah,
things
thank
out
you.
of it.
Yeah. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming and joining us, and thank you for everyone who's donated, everyone who's been gifting subs. Make sure if you're also watching this and you have not followed Corsair's Cove, follow Corsair's Cove. What are you doing? The quality of content on this channel is off the charts. You need to make sure you're following Corsair's Cove and you watch their stuff. It's somewhere I'm going to point in random directions until my finger is pointing in the right direction. So make sure you go and follow Corsair's Cove. I think that's everything we needed to touch off. Karen, have you got anything you needed to?
No, I think that was it. Other than if we have put aside one prize from our prize draw for the best Josh the Pirate impersonation. So if you want to crack at that, you have to do your best impression and tag us in it over on Instagram. Just a reminder, Josh's intro is "Avast and ahoy to you, mateys. I be Josh the Pirate, and it brings me more joy than a blankety blank 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 to welcome you to Corsair's Cove."
Is there a prize for people filling in the blankety blank blank?
Oh,
blank with the
you
most
absolutely,
creative answer?
yeah, absolutely. I think my personal favorite of Josh's was, and it brings me more joy than 5,000 volts straight to the nipples to welcome you to Corsair's Cove. He
Does
never
that bring joy? I guess
I
it
don't
does for some people.
know.
That's a lot of
To
joy.
each their own.
Yeah. He never
Depends on the
warns me
person.
what they are. We had to pause for a minute because me and the other players, I forget who it was, but I think Dan was there. We were just all dying of laughter.
I can see why.
Yeah.
That would break me.
We just
So
we
that's
just all had to
fantastic.
have a moment to recover from that.
I respect that fully. Oh my goodness. Well, we should probably jump into the session. Is everyone ready? Everyone's watered. Everyone's feeling excited for a little pirate themed one shot. Awesome. I see lots of happy faces. Let's do this. I've got a little bit of an introduction I'm going to read, and then we're going to launch straight into the campaign. You'll be introducing your characters as part of the actual narrative, so I will give you plenty of opportunity to do that in a minute. I kind of like this as a way of introducing characters, so I do this over on our stream as well. It's lots of fun. So let me quickly bring you in. For the last few months, the characters have been serving as sailors aboard the privateer brig Wave Cutter, captained by Blue Hand Brassius, a water ganassi known as an avid treasure seeker between more legit voyages. With a fairly small crew, you've each had time to learn from Brassius and his first mate, a warforged called Keel. It's been an exciting few months. Brassius has proved himself a fair and capable captain, sharing out a portion of the plunder after each contract or voyage. This all changed, however, with the most recent mission. Brassius had set course for a chain of islands, mostly uncharted and unexplored, far to the west of the waters surrounding the southern Shattered Isles. A map, stolen from a naval base, apparently pointed the way to the wreck of the Starlight, an exploratory vessel from the Ocean Empire rumored to be laden with rare artifacts and treasure. The disappearance of the ship was during a time of conflict between the Empire and the Shattered Islands, and as such, no official mission to recover the missing ship and its cargo was launched. What should have been an easy voyage unfortunately seemed cursed with ill fortune. A broken rudder left the ship stranded in the harbour for 3 days on the day of launch, and the bad luck only seemed to worsen from that point onwards. Food was found to be spoiled. Water barrels had accidentally been stored near the black powder and then leaked, and the ship's cat had gone missing right as a small plague of rats seemed to spring up overnight. And then the storm hit. The ship was tossed from wave to wave like a leaf, the mast cracking down the middle and the sail torn before the mighty winds assailing from all sides. Finally, an enormous rogue wave swept the captain from the wheel in an instant, along with 5 of your crewmates who happened to be standing nearby. The first mate forced to grab the wheel and attempt to keep the course. When the storm finally broke and the islands came into sight, it felt like maybe some good fortune had smiled down upon you. From afar, the wreck looked untouched, and hope for the treasure, surely still stored aboard, began to blossom within your chests. But instead of the hold full of treasure you had been expecting to find, instead all you found was a large stone disc, with interlocking wheels inside it covered in strange runes. Disheartened and defeated, Keel has sailed the broken ship back to Orchid Bay Harbour. Arriving back, most of your other crew have taken their final pay and departed the vessel to look for other work. Keel, however, has called all of you into the captain's cabin. for a meeting. You have about 10-15 minutes before this meeting with Keel as the large warforge steps onto deck, sections of wood and gears interlocking across his chest, obviously being a warforged and a construct. Metal and salt air mix rather poorly, so Keel is predominantly made of animated wood. Barnacles encrusting the upper side of his shoulder, forming almost like a pauldron of living matter. As he steps onto deck and calls out, "Final pay for those who are taking it. Anyone else, please stick around. I have an important discussion to make with all of you." And with that, most of your crewmates depart. What I'm going to get each of you to do is roll me a d8, because we're going to determine your position on the ship based on a random dice roll. And then we're going to introduce your characters as part of that. If I could have you all roll me a d8, we will discover what you have been doing while on this ship.
Golf scores, right? Golf scores.
Yes, golf scores is correct. Okay, so we have Barry and is it Bai? Am I pronouncing that right, Catalyst?
Yeah, as in like boy, bye.
Bai. So we got Barry and Bai. You're both Barry and Boy. You're both goblin adventurers. I think you said that your characters were potentially related, correct?
Yeah, we're distant cousins.
The way all goblins.
Yeah.
Ooh. The way all goblins.
Yeah.
Oh no! I just revealed myself as a goblin racist.
We've been around long enough. It's like I think he's a cousin. I think he's an uncle.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's some family resemblance.
He's my mother's cousin's best friend's sister's kid. So
amazing, outstanding. So it's kind of appropriate you two are both family because I'm going to announce Barry and Globregars. Is that? I think that's right. Their positions for and then it'd be quite fun for Boy. Barry and for the last few weeks aboard this vessel, the two of you have been almost kind of working in very slight competition as the as the cabin boy. Both of you with a 1 on that D8. There was only a position for one cabin boy aboard this ship. Someone to swab the decks, to do the menial labor, to tip the chamber pots over the side, to generally sort of manage the messes of the crew. And I kind of like the idea that Globregard was the one who was actually hired for this role, and Barry just kind of snuck aboard to hang out with his cousins, mothers, brothers, sisters, best friend, Dave. I think that's rather appropriate for Barry. For Boy, you are the bosun. You have been managing quite a high position, probably having been around for quite some time. You've mostly been in charge of the equipment, making sure that stocks are managed, making sure that the cannons are kept well maintained, the sails are kept furled and well maintained in between voyages. You're probably having conniptions at the moment, given the state of the vessel following this journey. The mast has been cracked, the sails torn, 2 cannons were lost over the side of the ship. There's a lot of damage to this vessel that you're now responsible for maintaining and fixing long term. Next up, we had Karen with a 6. Okay, you are the ship's cook.
Ooh.
You actually hold a very special position within the hierarchy of the ship, being kind of separate to the chain of command as the ship's cook. Again, you've not had a great time of it of late. Most of the food spoiling. Some buffoon stored the water barrels next to the black powder, which has resulted in the ruination of that delicious water. I mean, the black powder is also ruined, but that's less of a worry for you. You're more concerned about the actual water supplies. And the rats that have been infesting this ship overnight. Disgusting. So as the ship's cook, you've had a bit of an interesting challenge of late trying to salvage actual edible, palatable food for the last few nights. Restocking the ship is going to be a big priority once you're back in harbour. And Josh, I can't see your role. What was your role?
Very strange. That was 4.
4. Okay, you're also... I might get you to roll again just because we had so many double ups of the rolls. I will get you to roll again just for fun.
That's fine.
Well, I might have just lost my job.
That's 3 that time.
3.
3. Okay, that's not too bad. This was one of the joke ones. Assistant manager to the first mate. I had 2 joke ones in. So 3 and 8 were my 2 jokes. Assistant manager to the first mate. It's not a real position. Jackson is your character name, but you've been committing to it for quite some time. When the posting went up for assistant manager to the first mate, you assumed that was for a ship. It was actually asking for assistant manager to a restaurant chain called The First Mate that has recently sprung up around the Shattered Isles. But you happened to be at the harbour, and part of the poster had been torn, and next to it was a poster advertising crew positions for Brassius, for Blue Hand Brassius's crew. And so you kind of like conflated the two and went over and applied for the job. Keel, who was the one interviewing you, didn't quite grasp that it was for a different job and hired you on the spot based on some references that you provided, which were outstanding. It's up to you whether or not those references were legit. I'll leave that up to you. But Keel decided that actually he needed an assistant manager. So he has hired you as assistant manager to the first mate. Your job, for the most part, on this ship has mostly been like passing messages from Keel to other people and then other people back to Keel as an intermediary. Keel, being a Warforged, has no real concept of the grasp of irony, humor, sarcasm. He's very straight edge in terms of how he interprets things. So it's been quite a challenge for you to communicate some of the things back. And most of the other crew take great joy and delight in tricking or making fun of Keel and his lack of humor in that regard. You've been given ridiculous commands to run back to Keel, or ridiculous requests, like all the limes need to be stacked vertically in order of size from Karen the cook, from Miles the cook. Keel immediately was like, that makes no sense. Why would they need to be stacked according to size? Surely it would make more sense to stack them according to total mass or gravity. I think maybe you should go back and communicate this to the cook. And so you're going to be running backwards and forwards on the ship. I do like the fact that almost none of you have legitimate sailing experience as a result of these roles. That's outstanding. Perfect. That works out really, really nicely. As each of you are called into the captain's cabin, Keel's sitting there having a bit of a look around the large stone tablet that had been acquired from the wreck of the Starlight in front of him. As you come and sit down, I'm going to get each of you to introduce your characters and describe your general state of mind at this point, having just been on probably the worst ship experience of your lives, and what your characters might be sort of hoping to get out of this sort of meeting with Keel. I will start with Dave because I like to torture him.
Okay, yeah, Barry's chilled. He's relaxed. He either not, everyone's not sure whether it's because he's just personality relaxed or if he just has no idea what's going on. So he's just chilling back. He's just on his canjo, just playing.
Oh my god!
Canjo. Perfect.
Sorry, is that a banjo made out of a Spam can?
A Spam can canjo.
Does it play?
Yeah, he's got a Spam.
It does.
Can you
but
play
I
some?
made a miscalculation on the fact that the can like warps when you tighten the strings.
Yeah.
So it changes tune. But
Oh no, the mic's not
version
picking it
2.0
up.
will have a thing at the end there to reinforce it. It's the prop.
It's in development. Kickstarter
Yeah.
coming soon.
It looks small, but for Barry, it's quite large.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just playing. I'm on a boat. You know the.
Oh yeah, Lonely Island. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on a boat. And he's just chilling out, just getting ready, see what happens next with the adventure. He loves gold. He loves shiny things. So if we find gold, he's going to be over the moon. But if not, he'll have a song to sing about later.
And can you describe what Barry sort of looks like as well?
Yeah. He's like the hippest goblin you know, because like he's wearing like low crotch, joggers. You know, he's wearing like the ankle showing shoes. It's just like he's got a
Pretty
bit of
fly for a goblin guy, is what I
yeah,
heard.
exactly. He's wearing jewelry. He's got a ring. His ears are pierced. No gold chains because you know they get stuck on things, but everything else is there. Yeah.
And he probably pawned them.
Yeah, they're too shiny. They distracted him in his field of vision.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. We should probably do your goblin cousin's mother's brother's sister's friend Dave. Boy, Catalyst.
Yeah, so both is wearing a nice, fancy-looking jacket that you'd see on like a nobleman. That's about the only fancy thing he's got. The rest seems to be hobbled together to make it look like an upper-class person. Old rag kind of tied around his neck to look like a scarf, and so on. He's got an eye patch, having covered up an eye that has gotten some misadventure to it. He's using his rapier that he's in the band with Barry occasionally, that he'll basically take the rapier, stab it into a piece of wood, bend it, and just play it like you would a saw to join in.
It's like picking the thing while it's in them for different frequencies, right?
Oh yeah. No.
It's
He's got like the full band, the
It's gonna
full
need to be
violin. So yeah, that's by for the most part a lower class trying to look as upper class as he can, and really thinks he is part of that. And he's
That's
realizing,
outstanding.
yeah, on this current ship and the current state of things, maybe he should have left with the rest of the crew because, oh boy, that's a lot to fix.
Absolutely.
And it was already put together with shoestring and bubblegum earlier, so I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, this ship has seen many an adventure, but the time you've been on board, it's never been this wrecked. The ship is in dire straits. Blah, blah, blah. The agents.
Yeah. Glabrugagra is he is a locantheth, so he's basically a giant catfish person, and he is walking around very much as a literal fish out of water, hobbling around kind of on this large trident that he has with him, wrapped in these disheveled set of robes that are kind of falling apart, always moist, always a little wet. A book tied to his hip that you can just see has been weathered with water and salt and grime and everything else. But I think despite most people on this journey, he has gotten more and more excited with every passing failure that has happened. While he's always happy to help repair things and join in everybody and try to spread the good word, he's fascinated by the mystery of it all and what's going on and the stone disc that they found and doesn't really seem plussed by everything going wrong, almost as if it's all just part of the big plan.
Of course. Yes. Outstanding. Josh, Devil or Knight?
So Jackson came looking for a job interview to, as we said, be a part of a restaurant chain. He's more of a trained to be more of a concierge than anything else. And during the time on the ship, he's come to develop a bit of a persona to try and fit in with the group. The clothes that he wears are mismatched. Some are a bit too big for him. Some are a bit short. He's got one of the goblin family's shorts on, that, and then another pair of trousers on underneath that.
There's some hot
torn.
pants.
Some hot pants. He has long black hair, hazel brown eyes, nice, lovely black goatee. Carries a very fancy rapier on his side that he picked up from somewhere. He doesn't quite know where. His prized possession is the hat that he wears, and he likes to think of himself as the next captain and is waiting to see if he's going to be promoted at this point to either first mate or captain. And his accent, he puts on a pirate voice. His accent is very posh normally, but he puts on a terrible pirate accent that anybody with any sense would know is completely fake.
Amazing. And Karen, tell us about Miles.
Miles. Sorry, someone just dropped out of the Zoom call. Who did we just lose?
I think we lost Dave.
No, I'm sorry, I'm
Dave?
just fixing my lighting. My kittens are
Oh!
up in the background. Sorry.
All the videos just moved. I was like, panic! Sorry, yes. Miles. So, Miles is a quite scruffy looking half elf. Browned by the sun, hair bleached by same said sun. And honestly has been in a bit of a shitty mood because the food sucks. And, good food can be a comfort when everything's going wrong, and once you've lost that, you just really irritated at everyone and everything constantly. So Miles is not in a mood to discuss things. He's got battered leather armor on, rapier, few daggers. If you look closely, you'll see a little silver pin pinned to the collar of his shirt. And Miles is interesting because if you just kind of glance at Miles out of the corner of your eye, you're like, huh, is that a girl? And then you look and you're like, oh no, it's just Miles's phone. Which is not at all sus, and definitely not something Miles is trying to keep to himself.
I don't think any of these characters are high wisdom, so I don't think you need to worry too much.
Yeah, no one's gonna notice anything.
None of them are high wisdom. You're fine.
What's
Don't
wisdom?
even worry. What's wisdom? Was dumb.
Dumb stat is what it is. And Miles is basically at the point where they're so cranky about everything, they're like, you know what, if we're going back out there, we're going back out there, because, you know, it can't get much worse than this, so, you know, let's just keep going. We're sure to hit the bottom of the barrel of, you know, moldy ship's biscuit eventually, right?
Oh, yeah, and the problem is the bottom of the barrel, the worms ate that too. So as you lifted up the barrel, it just collapsed out. It's disgusting.
People are bitching about the food. It's like, I will come out there and beat you with a spoon.
I'll eat
Doing
you if you're sharp.
my very best.
This is what I've got to work with. Just start throwing the worms at them.
Look. You want to do it?
Amazing. As each of you trudge in with various levels of enjoyment on the scale of blah, 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 to Miles, I would say is the spectrum of emotions at the moment. As you trudge into the captain's cabin, Keel is standing there holding the stone disc in his hands. As you take a seat, he sort of turns towards you, looking pensive. The lights behind his eyes, the crystalline gems behind the impassive, emotionless faceplate, the wooden faceplate that makes up his face, dimming slightly and then brightening again as he turns towards you and looks. You can see he has positioned the captain's hat rather rakishly over his head. It doesn't quite fit, the shape of his head not being really perfectly spherical or ovular for a human's head. The hat kind of stuck between two gears, and occasionally you can see one of the smaller gears on the top taking a little chunk out of the rim as it rotates inside his head. Welcome everybody. Please come take a seat, as he gestures towards the seats in front of you. So, bad news. We have lost all funding as a result of this rather unsuccessful mission. Captain Brassius had made promises to a number of investors. We cannot fulfill them, so I have had to let most of the crew go, but I needed certain specialists for each job, and I have kept on the best and brightest of us. As he looks over and smiles towards you. I have obviously kept my assistant manager to the first mate, who you all know. Jackson has been doing an adequate job, so I will be keeping him around. The rest of you have performed your duties with excellence. I have noticed a 43% uptick in productivity with the share program for Cabin Boy.
Very helpful having him around. It's been great help.
Yes, my translator is able to interpret the series of noises that just was with 87% success. Unfortunately, the ship is in a rather bad way. Bosun, you have a plan and system in place to repair ship? I like the fact that silence is canon now. There's just silence from by. It's like, oh shit. You still there, Catalyst?
Are you muted by?
Catalyst!
He's not muted, but his mic.
Oh, it got muted. Sorry.
Hello! No, that moment of panic is canon now. By
There actually was a pause.
Perfect.
So I thought that was coming through. Yeah, so we're going to take every bit of wood that we have remaining and do what we always do. Miles, the barrels that we're holding everything that's there, we can still salvage from that. I know we salvaged the water barrels.
Define salvage.
Wood that doesn't crumble. Much.
2 out of 3.
There, 2 out of 3 of the ship can be repaired. We'll definitely be able to get floating. That I can assure you.
The other option I was going to explore was a trade-in option. Maybe sell this ship for something a little smaller. Would that be agreeable to you all?
As long as they don't take a look at the actual ship, we should be good.
Does anyone know how to cast illusionary magic?
Not on a whole ship.
Yeah, not that far.
No.
What about just in front of their face, like a perspective shot?
Maybe? Oh. What?
The great Glub gives me many gifts, but trickery of people doesn't really seem to be the best option.
Well then, we shall be sailing on a small sloop for our next voyage. That is okay. I am now Captain Keel. You may call me Captain Keel or Keel, and I am going to promote my assistant manager to the first mate, to assistant manager to the captain.
Arr! That sounds good, Captain. I
Your
really don't know what I'm
duties-
doing, but arr!
Your duties change not one bit. So you already have experience for the job.
Right, Captain, that sounds absolutely fantastic. Bloody hell, why am I still on this sodding ship?
Now, on to the question of the treasure. This stone disc, I have tried to understand its meaning for 3 days while we were making our way back. I don't have much. I was wondering if one of you could have a look and see if you could interpret it. And he holds out the stone disc, roughly about 30 to 40 centimeters in diameter. It looks like a wheel made of stone with like these petrified gears in the very center that spin around on an axis, or maybe once did before they were frozen in stone. Runes cover the outer surface, and as Keel holds it out, I'd like to know who wants to try and take it first, or who wants to have a look at it first.
I think Ragragra would be literally falling out of his chair, stumbling forward, being like, the mysteries of would be fantastically would love to take a look at this. There's much we can possibly learn about the deep.
Now, you said a catfish person, a locust,
Yes.
I think is how it's pronounced. Yeah. So your skin is slimy like catfish, correct?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you're
Just
excited.
gross and wet all the time.
I may get a sleight of hand check just to see how successfully you take this off him. Just for fun. Why not?
18.
Whoa.
18. You just reach out before anyone else can even react and grab this stone wheel out of Keel's hands. He immediately sort of like drops it and lets go as you take this and start poring over it, looking with such excitement and glee as you stare at this gorgeous looking. What could it mean? Do you want to roll an Arcana check and see if you know what it means?
Absolutely. I'm terrible at these. 9.
9. As you stare at the runes, even with a 9, you recognize these. This is primordial, a language spoken by ancient elemental beings, as well as the elder creatures of this world.
As well as me.
As well as you. As you begin staring at the primordial runes, it's an older dialect of primordial, I'm going to say, which is hilarious because primordial is elder speech. So it's like an older speech. So we'll just stick to that. It's like a much, maybe slightly unfamiliar script of primordial, but you're still able to decipher parts of this. The stone runes, the bits that you can decipher, read, encased in a shell, kept hidden, the truth inside.
Do you read that out loud to us?
Yeah.
My next question is, though, do you understand what he says out loud?
Yeah.
We taste the cell, the truth deep inside. My God, this is a global written all over them. This is the mysteries of the deep right here.
Shell
he is
inside?
barely able to keep a hold of the disc in his hand as he's like
That.
showing it to everybody, like pointing in their face with it.
That's 3 psychic
we
damage
crack
for
it open.
everyone who had to try and understand that. Just so you know.
Did anyone get that?
I mean, I got the first part. Could you repeat the first part again, just so I've got it again? I'm going West Country now. West
Of course.
Country.
This part here, in case we need a shell, like this one, and he just like pulls out of his like the sleeve of his robe just this like large snail, like concave, convex swirled shell. It's just something like this, in case there's a shell, deep truth hidden inside. Oh my!
Right.
Could it lead us to something, a deeper secret of some kind?
Maybe.
We
that
reckon
was it?
so.
Encased in a shell, and that I didn't get anything after that.
But the truth hidden inside the shell.
Yeah, Karen. Come on.
Blah blah blah. Could you just turn that around and show it to me?
And he does so absolutely, and just like holds it way too close to your face.
And I'll kind of, with one finger, because it's got fish slime on it now, just kind of
It
push
does
it
have
away from
fish
my
slime
face
on
a
it.
little bit.
Yeah. One of his barbells is like hanging over it loosely as well.
Because I also speak primordial, so I would like to squint at the disc.
I'll grab an Arcana check from you too then.
Can Barry help by being underneath and just like using prestidigitation to clean it from the
To clean the slime? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You may
He's
have
just underneath
advantage
and
on
reaches up,
this.
presses it, and walks past.
You may
I got
have
a
advantage
whole.
as the fish slime is cleaned.
I got a whole one better than Glover Bragbrag with 10.
Good news is that you get to re-roll it. Barry gave you the help action by cleaning the fish slime off the stone disc. You may roll again.
Well, that's a 14. That's better.
14's a might bit better though. Without the fish slime clogging the lettuce as the fish slime is cleaned off. As you look at the stone disc, yeah, I mean, you actually recognize what this is. These artifacts occasionally turn up. They're known as the glyphs. Very few have been discovered, but the few that have all have led to spectacular treasure. Encased in stone, inside there's going to be a gold, silver, or platinum disc. It depends on which one they are. Those are the 3 that have been discovered so far, the 3 materials. The gears can be rotated to reveal locations. It almost is an ancient form of a map, powered by elemental magic. They're often sealed or petrified in stone to protect them. No one really knows where they come from, though. There's probably about 6 that have been found throughout the shattered islands and the Obsidian Sea.
So,
How heavy is it?
like, do you have to break it to use it? Is that, like,
If you can remove the stone, however you want to remove the stone, you can get it off. I would say, Miles, with a 14, you don't know how durable these things are. you know you have to get the stone off, but I'm going to say that's about as far as your knowledge goes.
yeah,
how
because I'm
heavy
like,
is it?
do I throw it
About
on
like
the floor?
3-4 kilos.
Why would they make a frisbee out of stone? This doesn't make sense.
It's not a frisbee. Have none of you ever seen one of these before?
I've seen a frisbee before.
I've seen a stone.
It's a glyph. It's a treasure map. There's not a lot of them.
Maybe I can take a crack at it.
You've got to get the stone off, and then there's a metal disc inside, and then you've got to like line up the cogs, and then it will show you the way to get a treasure. This isn't. These are so rare. Where the hell did you get this?
Keel nods and goes, "The disastrous voyage we were just on. Remember, this was the only treasure in the hold of the Starlight that was there."
Hardly a disaster then.
No, that is an incredibly successful mission, and okay, we have to get the stone off. It's like
Can I take a crack at that?
Yeah, Miles.
Okay,
Miles is holding the disc at this point. By you
Perfect. So
sort of
yeah,
walk on over.
since I have an idea of the translation, I'll try for an Arcana check, if that's okay.
Yeah, go for an Arcana check.
My cousin's very smart.
Well, actually, he adjusts his headband of intellect because int is actually his dump stat, making sure it's on tight.
I like the idea of the headband of intellect having like a little screw that you tighten to like tune in the intelligence when you need it, like one of the
dial it in.
gemstones. Yeah, you like have like
headache
two
otherwise.
bands. You can move the two rubies, and like their position like either heats or cools parts of your brain to like, speed up its functioning. 23. Yeah, I mean, as you stare at this thing, you know that you know instantly what the text says. I won't go into too much detail because the glyphs are covered in this text that describes in great detail the artifact within. But most importantly of all is a command word in primordial: free. And when you speak that, the stone will crumble and the device will be revealed. You also know that these devices are indestructible. If you were to smash it on the ground, you'd be able to smash the stone off easily. The devices cannot be destroyed. No one has yet been able to even scratch these things. There's definitely some sort of like warding magic that protects them. The last person who tried to cast a spell against one of these, the spell rebounded onto them though. So you do also know that there is, whatever that warding magic is that protects them is bad news for anyone trying to cast spells at it.
Hey, Barry, I think you can crack it open. You don't have to worry about what's inside. Just hit it as hard as you can.
Throw
Whatever
the
you got.
frisbee to move. Throw the frisbee to move.
Hit him in
Ready,
the
set,
face.
shatter!
Do you throw the frisbee? Quote unquote. Okay.
I toss
Barry,
it in the air in Barry's direction. Feel free to
Okay.
throw a shatter at it or something else.
Barry doesn't have any attack spells.
Aw.
Killer utility. But it's 4 kilograms, 5 kilograms. Barry is not a big goblin, so he'll try to catch it.
I'd love a dexterity saving throw from you, please, Barry, or a strength saving throw. I'm going to give you the choice.
Yeah, I think Dex.
I assume Dex.
21.
21. As this thing flies towards you, Barry, for a moment you're like, I got it. And then as it gets closer and starts to eclipse your vision, you have this flash of the top of your head just being stove in by this thing. You're like, oh, I haven't got it. As you duck underneath, just like gently passing it over your head with your hand, it smashes against the back wall of the ship, cracking through the wood, I might add, and you hear this as the stone cracks down the middle. Keel, who at this point hasn't really, because it doesn't sound like Bai has described how indestructible he's gone. Oh, they're indestructible, it's fine. And then just thrown it. Keel's like, ah!
Yeah.
Ah! As he watches this thing just fly across and shatter.
It'd be okay, Keel. Barry did a good job. He cracked it with his head.
So a frisbee made from stone makes no sense. Harry collects the frisbee.
As you pull it out from the broken-in sections of wood, the wood cracking and giving way underneath, the stone has a huge crack down the middle. Sections of dust and rock begin falling off, and you see a glint of this silvery reflective metal underneath the stone.
Shiny. Barry tries to peel away the stone, which makes no sense.
It shouldn't normally, but because of the way the warding magic works, there's actually a gap in between the metal and the stone, a small area of what almost is like a pocket of air. And as you reach in, you just begin crumbling off the stone, almost like a thin layer of like paper thin stone. You just begin peeling it off, crumbling it off with your hands. Underneath, the silvery metallic metal shines through, almost with a soft glow of its own. And you can see the 2 gears in the central position spinning around a central axis. Above it, a very small illusion flickers into view, showing a top-down view of the port where you are, the ocean, up to about a mile away. This miniature illusionary map flickering into view.
Harry, Barry notices none of that. How shiny is it? On a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being like a torchlight in your face.
This one is this one's made of platinum, so I'd say maximum shine. Like
Okay.
torch, maybe not torch in your face, but
yeah,
very
but
shiny.
if the sun came in, it'd be a torch on your face, right? Like if it reflected
Yeah,
off
I'd
it,
say like every magpie within about 500 meters of this thing instinctively goes, huh? And starts looking around as this thing is unveiled. That's how shiny it is.
Barry's holding it up, dancing around, being like, "Final frostball, final frostball."
Because stone doesn't make sense, but one of the most expensive metals, yeah, that makes more sense for a frisbee. We all know that.
That way you can catch it in the air. You see it shine. You know exactly where it is.
Plus, the most perfect sense. Barry brings it back to Bai.
And then it hits you in the neck and slices your head right off.
Ah, I had heard of these glyphs before. I never imagined that we would be ones to find one. We must keep this safe and hidden. People will try to take this from us if they know that we have it. And in our current situation, I am not sure there would be a lot we could do to stop them if they really wanted it.
Where does it lead us to? And I'm trying to look around the map as Barry is like running through, running around with it.
Yeah. At the moment, the map just shows where you are. Essentially, it's centered on the point, and then it's a zoomed out view. I should also add, as Barry holds it up, you can actually see that it doesn't just give like a flat illusion. It's actually topographical. You can see the rise of the lands shaped by this illusion. You can actually even see waves moving, giving you probably, I would say, you know that this is a live representation of where you are right now, displayed in perfect holographic fidelity by this illusionary magic.
This is fascinating magic. Barry, sit down. And I think he just kind of like tries to grab you by the arms and just put his fat catfish weight on you and plunk you down.
Harry sits like a good boy. Barry sits like a good boy, sorry. I play Harry in another campaign. So
Yeah, so Dave,
Barry.
Dave self-imposed this on himself. The whole time I have played RPGs with Dave, he has called himself only two names as his characters, Barry or Harry.
Yeah.
And Gary was
Gary.
a discussion point,
Yeah,
but he
Carrie
didn't
will
end
come
up using
eventually as well.
Larry.
Larry, yeah. Mary.
Mary.
Yeah.
It's not close enough, though. It's a bit of a stretch. You need to stick with the Ari kind of sound. Apparently. This is your rules, not mine. You're doing this to yourself.
Okay, Barry sits down.
Yeah.
It's a triple S. It's a goblin positioning system.
Oh my god. A goblin positioning system.
Exactly. It only tracks goblins, so you need to keep us, as Bai puts his arm around Barry, together with this device.
True goblins.
So you're meant to be able to control the map with like the dial thing. So maybe if you twist it, it will show us where to go.
Harry hands off the frisbee to whoever wants it. Barry doesn't understand these things.
Yeah, I'll take it. I believe I should have an understanding since I got the Arcana check.
Yeah. 23. You know that if you rotate the gears, you should be able to position it to reveal the area around. Like, you've never seen it in action, so your knowledge is all secondhand. But from what you've heard from stories, from rumors, from tales, is that, yeah, I mean, these lead to treasure. You know for a fact that these always lead to a vast, essentially what has been called as lockers, these areas of treasure hidden away, sometimes deep beneath the ocean, sometimes on islands, but they're unlocked. It's not just a map, it's also a key. But to reveal where it is, yeah, you have to play around with the dials to kind of locate the area that you need to go.
So Bai's going to put it down on the desk, look to Keel and go, we each get an equal share. And looking for him to confirm.
Equal share of what?
Confirm? Equal share or not?
Confirm?
Do you agree? We each get this is a share equal.
I don't know how we are going to equally share this disc. Can we cut it? Can we melt it down?
You wouldn't want to do that.
I think Bai is referring to whatever we find with the deal.
Oh, yes, confirm. We are equal partners now.
Okay, and it just immediately shifts it into the positions that it needs.
Yeah, as you play around with the dials and begin rotating them, the view begins to initially zoom in and then drop in height. So you watch as suddenly it's now showing the ocean floor before you sort of get the dials back into position, and it zooms out. You watch as the ocean falls away, zooming out and out as the island shrinks down to this tiny little spot. The rest of the shattered isles emerging as this string of essentially what looks like a peninsula that had been broken apart into this little archipelago suddenly emerges, the view zooming out. And as you begin dialing it out a little bit more, suddenly one of the islands begins blinking with a little red light.
Oh, that's a neat trick.
Anybody got the maps, or are the maps still good?
What? 1 second.
Yeah, assistant manager to the captain.
I got the maps. Just start rolling them all out of the different islands.
Yeah. As you pull open the maps and begin looking through, you can see very clearly, because the scale of this zoomed out view shows you almost the entire shattered islands, at least the southern portion of them, really clearly. Clearer than any map you've ever seen. And as you begin looking through, could I get you to please make me just a flat intelligence check, please, Jackson? Just for fun.
Oh, me flat intelligence. That's gonna. Oh, actually, that's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Just for fun. Just for fun. Why not? Hey?
7.
It takes you a hot minute, but you get it down to 2 locations as you look at this map. The good news is they're close to each other. They're not too far away. That's part of the problem, right? With the zoomed out view, it's hard to pinpoint exactly where this red dot is, but there's 2 possible areas that it could be. One is a small sandbar located just off a larger island known as Gilligan's Rest. This larger island, which is quite rocky and mountainous, famously uninhabited, famously not much there. The sandbar, same thing. But the sandbar itself, the island area, there's a small section of jungle across the center of it, and then this large coral reef around the outside, forming almost like an atoll that encircles this sandbar. They're only about 4 or 5 hours sailing away from each other. So you have a bearing and a heading, at least.
It'd be one of these 2 directions. See?
How long do you reckon it'll take to get there?
Well, they're about 5 hours apart from each other. How far are they away from where we are currently?
About a day's sailing, not that far at all.
Oh, I suppose
About a day on the seas.
I could pick some more maggots out of the ship's biscuit.
I wondered what that was in my teeth.
Think of it as extra protein.
Those were drugs. I thought they were about choice.
Oh, glad you like them. I got loads. Also, if anyone starts getting gangrene, scrape him in.
We probably could do with a resupply if we sell this vessel and I sell the captain's effects. We could probably have enough to get a small sloop and some new supplies.
Oh, that would be so good.
What are we waiting for? The mysteries of the sea await us.
Well, I will go and organize that. If you wanted to have an hour or 2 of shore leave, maybe go and have a drink, a bite to eat, restock things that you need, I can go and change the vessel and resupply. I would be more than happy to do that. I would be the most efficient person for this job.
I do not disagree with that.
Barry could offer to clean the ship with prestidigitation, but he's not going to.
That's a lot of prestidigitation.
Yeah. In an hour's worth of prestidigitation running around everywhere. But he's not going to.
That's a lot of prestidigitation.
I do have shape water, so I could just make a wave to wash down the deck.
I've noticed there's another item in your inventory that might be useful here too.
Oh, yes, there is. I was like, you want me to rinse the deck down? Only take a minute.
I wasn't going to bother cleaning this deck because we're just going to sell it. But if you think you could spruce it up to make it look better to sell for more gold, then please.
All
Maybe
right.
wash some of the blood and fish slime wherever Glubbergra has walked. That is a slipping hazard.
Off the ship first.
Yeah, you guys might want to get off before I do this. Otherwise, I take no responsibility for you guys being yeeted over the side.
Oh, I am gone, and I just walk out the door.
Perfect.
And I will go up to the far end of the ship and pull out a fairly innocuous looking water bottle. But this is in fact the decanter of endless water. So by pulling the cork out and saying geyser, 30 gallons of water will gush forth in a geyser, 30 feet long and 1 foot wide. So I will use that to basically pressure hose down the deck. And if any of you are dumb enough to get in the path of this, you must succeed a DC 13 strength saving throw and be blown
DC
over.
30?
13.
13. Globbergar, I saw you raise your hand, agent.
I think Globbergar knows what's happening right now, and it's just like, the sea, take me. And like happily just gets like washed over with the water and chucked over the side of the boat, and then, starts swimming his way back to the dock.
You choose to fail the save. There's not even any resistance. Just take me.
Oh, yeah.
I like the idea that this has been done more than once.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just every now and again, you get.
Some of our journeys have taken a little bit longer because we've had to stop, turn the
Go
ship
back.
around to try and find them.
Yeah.
It's like T-Rocket style, sent flying into the sky.
You just shot. Yeah, Globbergar, you just sent hurtling off the side of the ship straight into the water. As you are yeeted off the side of the ship into the water is clear and cool. The area around the docks beautifully clean. No reef, it's been cleared out, but the sandy bottom of the ocean reflects the light beautifully back up, giving this almost like stained glass appearance as the light beams trickle down through the waters above. You see schools of fish swimming around. It's a moment of peace after just being smacked in the face by a geyser of water off the side of a ship. So you then make your way to shore. I sort of scramble up onto the docks. A fisherman who was sitting on the edge of the docks, this older gentleman, quite a long wispy beard, tattoos across his neck and shoulders. As you suddenly climb out next to him, he goes, "Oh shit!" as he drops backwards and drops his rod into the water. So you just suddenly climb up without any, kicks his bucket of fish over the edge, scrambles backwards, goes, "Oh!
Glurb will appreciate your blessings back into the sea," he says, pointing to the fish that he's just knocked back over. "He will look well upon you during your coming days." And just like puts the wettest, fishiest hand on his shoulder as he walks by him and like starts walking his way back up.
"Can you not?" So you just slime down his chest and then back away. His mate next to him, who's killing himself with laughter, goes, "You're such an idiot, mate. You didn't see the fucking huge fish swimming under the water. Were you not paying attention or something?" "No, I was having a drink when he just emerged." As the guy falls back, tries to recover his rod from the water, the fish in his bucket swimming away very quickly with this moment of freedom offered back to him.
I'd love to cast my mage hand, which is just a weird tentacle with like eyeballs instead of like little polyps on it. Just will like reach back out of the sea with the fishing rod and the bucket of fish, like with as many fish in it as it can, and just like place it gently on the beach as I just keep not even looking back, just keep walking up the shore.
From behind you, you hear a "Thanks." A bit confused. Perfect. As you all reconvene on the docks and begin having a bit of a look around, you've been to this portside village before. Orchid Bay Harbour is a popular spot for ships to stop off. It's right in the very center of the western portion of the Shattered Isles. As a popular trading hub, many ships, both traders, privateers like yourselves, come through constantly. You've been here, I'd say minimum at least 4 or 5 times, all of you. Some of you maybe more. There's a number of taverns which you've frequented on a number of occasions. I'd say probably given your financial situation at the moment, the dive bar known as the Blossoming Orchid is probably the only place where you're going to be able to get copious amounts of alcohol and pay for it without sort of doing a dine and dash. If you're looking for a dine and dash situation, or you're not interested in drowning your sorrows, just having maybe a fancier drink, probably you're going to be looking for the Sea Breeze, which is over towards the western half of the portside town.
Hey Barry, what do you say? Oh, Barry, what do you say we try to raise some extra funds?
Let's go Boston.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I was hoping this might be the case.
That's what you meant, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't just hijack your idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of places along the portside town where 2 buskers of adequate quality could maybe earn a few silvers for the journey. The market
We're above adequate, so that'll be fine.
The market district, which is just up from the main port, many people passing through. It's the main thoroughfare for the town itself. I'd say probably both of you having been here before. Maybe you've even busked here before as well, given your exuberance to start the performance. I'd say maybe you have busked here before. You've got a little corner that you occasionally busk on. As the 2 of you head over, I'll grab a performance check from each of you as you start.
Barry would like to give by a 1d8 of bardic inspiration.
Nice, thank you.
What does your bardic inspiration look / sound like, Dave? Because these are always hilarious for those of you who aren't familiar with Dave's work.
Oh, you caught me off guard. This
Yeah,
one
I
is
know.
just
My other favorite activity.
he's like he's just happy. Buster of my cousin, and he's just really happy. And I think that fills by with joy just to be with family. I think I can't speak on his behalf, but
I like it. Perfect. I'll grab a performance check from each of you. By, if you wanted to add a 1d8 to this, you're more than welcome to as part of the bardic inspiration.
and because I'm at
Perfect.
College of Eloquence, if you do fail, you get to keep that bardic inspiration for an additional use.
Ooh.
Awesome.
Fancy.
College of Eloquence is one of those really cool new bard
Nat
subclasses that I
20.
don't think enough people play. Nat 20. Okay.
Oh,
And a
for him,
12
I was
from
like,
Bard.
hold on. Wait, we're gonna add an 8d8. 15.
Nice.
Okay.
The
So
most
the
important
nat,
roll of the game.
the nat 20, that's a total of 27. Barry, I mean, you designed and built this instrument yourself, the Kanjo. You know its quirks, you know its idiosyncrasies, you know how to play this thing. You invented it. And you play your little goblin hard out on this thing. You know that if you are to tilt the can just slightly, you get like a wang effect, like some sort of like electric banjo. And you play with the resonance of the can. I'd probably say even there's like a couple of holes that you've drilled in position on the can that as you put your fingers over them, you can kind of change the resonant frequency of the can itself, creating these really cool, almost like sitar-like effects on your kanjo. Your performance is absolutely riveting. People come from all over the markets to hear the cool new sounds of Orchid Bay. As many of the people, they've never heard the electric sound of a kanjo before and are enraptured by it. By with a performance of 15, I mean, you do a great job. It's just, there's something about the charisma of a tiny goblin giving it his all on a piece of wood, some strings, and a can of Spam that's hard to compete with.
I'm only there for the backup. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Is to
We're
get the
a
sound.
duo.
I'm
We
using
are
the
a
booming
duo.
blade, so I'm gonna be booming blade just to like get the sound out there on that. Sword
You're the
that I'm
Ringo
playing.
to his McCartney is what I'm kind of hearing.
Yeah.
I'm going to get Dave. Could you please roll me a, let's make it a D100.
B100.
A Dundred, a classic Dundred roll.
That is a 6.
That is not great.
Someone
So
else
We
has
are
had
in the
luck
poor
lately
part of
either.
town.
unfortunately, it looks like there had been some really incredible bargains on at the nearby market stalls, and coin purses are surprisingly light today. Your total haul at the end of this, frankly, groundbreaking musical jam is 6 gold pieces, which feels really cheap. And I'd
Not
say
just
probably
6 gold pieces. 6 gold pieces and exposure.
Yeah.
that's true. Everyone's talking about Barry and the Barry. What was it? Barry and the buy.
With our GPS goblin positioning system.
I like that.
There was like That's all right. Your applause is permanent enough.
There's a lot of applause. Like people are cheering, people are shouting. I'm gonna give Barry and Bai inspiration for this. Please enjoy an inspiration to use as and when you need.
Love it.
While Barry and Bai are changing music at a fundamental level, what are the rest of you guys doing?
I would like to say that Miles is observing this kind of performance and is kind of hoping it goes well, because now that the idea has been put in their head, Miles is just having happy fantasies about having a proper meal at the Seabreeze for the first time in weeks. So when they turn out to be a bunch of cheap bastards, Miles's rage just kind of bubbles up like a burning sensation at the back of the throat. You
knew the arts were underfunded, but
I
this
know,
is
but
ridiculous.
this is outrageous.
This
What
is
is this,
disgusting.
a bunch of pirates?
Yeah.
So I would like to go and pick some pockets, please. I'm going to
Hey.
casually mingle with the crowd and see if I can rustle up some extra gold.
Yeah, I'll grab a sleight of hand check then, please. Don't worry about a stealth check. Natural 20 means their attention is so focused on Barry.
16.
I was asking if there was any chance I could give the help action.
You don't have to worry about the help
turning
action.
all
The
attention.
DC is lowered because of the natural
Okay.
27 performance check. The only way Miles could have failed this is by rolling under a 10 as the total value. The DC was lowered
3
significantly.
or lower. Okay.
Well, because essentially, like a 27 performance check, that's got to be one of the highest performance checks ever in a like possible in D&D. So yeah,
That's Beyonce levels of performance.
yeah. Like you could open a conservatory right now on this island, and you would have students going like, "I'd like to learn to play the banjo, please, Mr. Barry." You've changed music fundamentally here today, just not in a financial way.
After your
they
death,
only-
it will then become a successful thing and take off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Future
right.
people will make a lot of money from this, but you will live in
Off
poverty.
of you.
This is the start of rock and roll in this universe. Spam and can in this universe. Miles, maybe one of the reasons, like people didn't want to interrupt the performance, and it turns out their coin purses were a lot heavier than you first thought. The reason they weren't chucking gold isn't because they were stingy, it's because they were just captured by the performance. And after you've picked a number of pockets and filled your own coin purse, as people go to reach for their coins to give money to Barry for this incredible performance, they find their purses strangely light, much lighter than they were expecting. A few people sort of go, oh my goodness, I appear to have I've been pickpocketed. No, there's a cut purse about. As a noble woman looks around, God, looking horrified. I'll get you to. Because this was the role I offered to Dave for this, as you are picking pockets, I will also get you to roll me a D100. However, we are going to halve the result to make it a D50 because I like the idea that sort of like 50% of it, because you can't pickpocket the whole crowd, whereas Barry can impress anyone.
Oh, there it is.
64, 32 gold. I mean, there are some loaded motherfuckers in this town. Like, clearly the stall owners who had been benefiting from these incredible sales and who'd come over to watch the performance as well. You just reach in, just take a bit of gold here, take a bit of gold there. One of them even has a platinum piece. I'll just have that. Yeah, you just tuck them into your coin pouch. And by the end of it, as you walk away, there is a heft to the sack that is strapped to your belt.
Just tipping slightly to one side.
Yeah. as you sort of like hobble over towards the bar. While Miles is doing that, let's go to blah blah blah.
I think Glub is coming, having come up from the beach and seen them do the performance. He has no interest in these kind of like earthly demands of money and food and fame. He's looking for the weird, dark back alleys that people are mistakenly going down, so that he can wander deeply out of the shadows and be like, "Oh, it's so nice to meet you in here. I was wondering if you had a moment to talk about the great deep mysteries of the sea." And he is going to try to spread the word of a glurb, who is his deep, fathomless god of unknowingness, the gods of mysteries. He is a Kuatoan god. The Kuatoans being the only species that can just make a god up by believing in it. And for Glub, it's the unknown that they believe in. When they walk over when your ship is going over a deep fathomless dragon, you feel a great darkness beneath you, an eyeball, an unseeing presence. That there is a glub glub. You know, when you're looking down an alleyway, you think something moves out of the corner of your eye, but that there is a glub glub. He is everywhere, and he is simply looking for people to understand him, to recognize him a little bit more.
I am definitely going to get a charisma check. I'd actually say you can choose between performance or persuasion. Your choice for this particular check.
They're the same for me. We'll go with persuasion, because there's no performance involved. He's simply telling the truth that he knows and understands.
I love it.
That's a 9. He's gonna put his hands on his holy symbol, his talisman, his amulet, and expend a charge of that to add an additional 1d4. Give me at least a 12.
12.
I don't
12's
think
good.
He's weird. He's not very charismatic. It's a weird ask he's asking of people, but he's giving it his best.
Yeah, a halfling is. Yeah, there's definitely a language barrier there. As I'd say, Globrogar, the first person that you come across and the one you spend the most time talking to is a halfling gentleman. Curly brown hair, long sideburns down his face, dressed in quite nice clothing, a nice red velvet vest on. As he sort of like turns down the alley, pauses for a second, goes, "Oh no, this wasn't the way. I got to go back that way." You sort of like burst out of the shadow. Have you heard? No, I haven't heard about that. No, I can't say that I've heard about that. Do you have a pamphlet or something I could take?
No, one just simply needs to accept the mysteries into your soul to understand that there's great things with the sea.
I do have one question. You said before, like eyes in the deep, yeah? Like there's like lots of eyes? But then you said unseeing.
Well, sometimes it's eyes, the mouth, it's many things. No one is really certain of what the form of a global orb is.
That you did say it was unknowing, and you did say that. That's a good point. You did actually say that. Yeah. How do I worship?
You just have to remember. When there's something there that you don't know, when you don't quite understand what it is looking at you from the dark, no, it is him or them or whatever a global may be looking back at you. If you know, then it knows.
I think I've had an experience like that, like late at night when I've blown out all the candles and I'm in bed, but I really need to go to the privy. I like sprint as quickly as I can because there's things in the darkness and I can feel them pressing it around me, and then I quickly sprint back to bed and pull the covers up over. Is that good?
No, that's most certainly a glorb reaching out his wrath and tentacles to grace your presence.
Do I want his wrath and tentacles reaching out towards me?
Oh, if you accept his love, no harm will likely to come to you.
I feel like I've heard someone describe tentacles and love in the same sentence, and it was a word that started with hen. I'll take your word for it. That sounds excellent.
The common language is a bit weird to me. The vocabulary is sometimes lost.
Well, I'll be certain to accept his tentacles and love next time he offers it to me.
Go with his praise, and
grabs him by the side of the head with his big fishy flippers.
How is it sticky and slimy at the same time?
Oh, he works in mysterious ways.
and just vanishes back into the shadows.
You hear this slapping of like wet fins on the ground as he runs away. That's definitely going to be an inspiration for you, Agent Number One. That's hilarious. All right.
Every believer, my God, grows in power.
You unlock level 7 Warlock. Josh, what's Jackson doing?
When Jackson left the meeting, he went to his bunk area and he pulled out a duffel bag. He has 2 duffel bags, one that says first mate and one that says captain, and it has clothes in there for when he reaches those promotional levels. So he's gotten changed into these clothes, and as the water comes spraying out and comes into his bunk, he sort of floats off the air a little bit. These little wings sort of flap off of his boots as he's got winged boots, and he just lands back down again. I'm not getting my boots dirty yet again. Oh, bloody geysers. And then I walk off the boat and walk straight towards the fanciest restaurant, and instant gold, not even in my mind. I'm going there to instantly book us all in there. You know, I'm a bit of a concierge, so I'll go there and go, excuse me, yes, I'd like to book a table for 5, please.
Amazing. A sea elf, light blue skin, sort of thin appendages around the ears, hair sort of slicked back, much thinner than other elves, turns towards you. A youngish man, probably only sort of 100, 200 years old.
Yes, sir. Welcome to Piratical. How may I assist you today?
Oh yes, I would very much like to what's the word I'm looking for? The word has just left Josh's brain. Book a table for 5, please, for myself and my comrades who have just docked in your wonderful, wonderful quay over there.
Do you have a reservation, or is this you attempting to make one right now, sir?
Yes, this is me attempting to make a reservation. I said book a table.
You did, sir.
I said it differently.
Let me consult the bookings today and see if we can squeeze you and your docked companions in.
And as he begins flipping through the pages.
I'm sorry, sir. All our tables are currently booked for this afternoon's lunch seating. Unless, of course,
You're telling me that there is not a table for Captain Huey Jackson? That is who I am. I am the captain of the ship. You must book me a table.
Could I please have I'm going to say intimidation or persuasion check or deception? I'm actually going to give you all 3. Your choice.
They are all the exact same, so I'm going to go for persuasion.
Persuasion. See if we can persuade this terrible waiter.
That's a 12.
12.
Well, sir, we do have a number of captains come through here, and I must confess I've not heard of this Captain Huey Jackson before, but we do obviously make sure we cater to the more loyal customers that come through here. Captain Huey Jackson, was it?
It was, yes.
And
I'll put my hand on the booking on the book, the booking book, and as I remove it, there's a few gold coins there.
How many gold coins?
4.
4 gold coins.
Yes, sir. Right away. Of course, foolish me. Your table will be ready within 10 minutes.
As he pockets the gold really quickly.
Oh, thank you very much. And as I walk out, I hear the spam can, and I'm going to be like, oh, yes, I know where to go, and I'm just going to start walking that way.
Perfect. I'm going to bring you all together at the end of each of your little side adventures as Jackson comes over and invites you to a lunch. Probably, I'd say your first wormless meal in about 4 or 5 days. Miles, you know Piratical well. I'm even tempted to say maybe you did a little bit of training there. Number of very high quality chefs go through Piratical. High staff turnover. Not because of any problems with the place, just because of the transient nature of the people who come through this island. And the head chef there, very, very good. Rawdon Gamzee, very, very, very good. Bit of a temper on him though, Rawdon. He has been known to occasionally lose his shit. And there was one famous incident where a customer sent back a steak 3 times that it wasn't cooked properly, and he threw it at their face and then stabbed them in the knee. But apart from that, very, very chill gentleman.
Right bloke, love him.
All of you sit down, enjoy a lovely meal. You have probably one of the better meals you've had in a number of months. Not to like shit on Miles's cooking. Miles just has to do what he can with the ingredients available. Whereas obviously on Orchid Bay, they've got access to a lot of different ingredients. So all of you enjoy a lovely meal. And by the time you head back to the harbor, you can see that your previous vessel is now being pulled up onto the dry docks, and a rather distressed looking nobleman turns towards a warforged standing next to him. Not Keel, another warforged. This one made of metal interlocking plates that join together.
How could you purchase this piece of shit? It's terrible. This vessel is barely seaworthy. How much did you pay for it?
I'm sorry, sir.
What?
Sorry, malfunction. I appear to have contracted a virus.
What?
As you just sort of like, wander past quite quickly. You can see the back of this warforged head. There is like a little silver disc attached to the back of its head. Never seen anything like that before. This little odd sort of silver circular disc. Once you catch up to Keel, you can see he's tucking 2 more away into a little pouch.
Welcome back. I have procured a lovely sloop for us, and we have made a nice profit on the ship.
Nice.
Very nice. Are you ready to depart?
Captain.
Excellent. Well, I will get the ship ready, get on board and get to your stations, and we shall begin our voyage. I'm so excited. Oh, by the way, I also used some of the spare money to hire 3 more sailors for us, because there was a bit of a gap in our sailing experience. They are just over here. Please introduce yourselves when you get a chance.
And as you step onto the deck, you can see 2 humans and an elf, all dressed in these lovely red vests, blue knee-length pants, smile and wave. Hello there. Hi. I'm you can call me Bob. I'm very excited to be on board. It's my first day sailing. It's a younger man with short cropped brown hair, who has tied a rope around his waist as a belt at the end, sort of dangling down behind him. This is such a hazard, bosun. As you watch this by, you're just dying inside. The other two, the elf, just dying inside a little bit. The elf, an older woman, probably in her sort of, if she was human, in her 50s and 60s, probably as an elf, she's in her sort of late 300s, 400s. Auburn hair, graying, copper skin, showing her as a wood elf.
Yes, I'm very excited to be on board. I have spent many, many months aboard a similar vessel, and I will be managing things from the crow's nest. They call me Karen. Karyn, Karen.
As she nods. And then the last one, another human, this one, a slightly older gentleman.
I'm Swabby Seabeard, and I be very excited to be aboard this vessel.
He has a peg leg, a patch over one eye, a large, extravagant pirate's hat, and over the top of his red shirt, a long pirate's coat.
Can one of us do an insight check to see how likely they are to rob us?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Barry will just do one.
Yeah, make an insight check, of course. Any time you talk to people.
It is a 12.
12. The young lad, Bob and Karen, you don't think they're gonna. I should not have gone with Karen for this. I'm gonna say Karen and Karen interchangeably. Sorry, Karen, my bad. Bob and Karen, they're not likely to rob you. I mean, they seem Bob. This guy is so honest and upfront. He's very keen to be on the boat and clearly does not know what he's doing. He's still wearing his shoes on the deck, which is a huge no-no. The Swabby Seabeard, the older gentleman with tattoos, pirate beard, hat, he looks like a pirate. Like, pretty clearly is a pirate. But as you sort of go up, Barry, and say hello, and you just,
I'd be excited to be a humble sailor on this here vessel.
Checks out.
I've been out pirated. I don't like this. He has to go.
Don't worry, Josh. They're all wearing red shirts. We know what that means.
They can't shoot anything.
Welcome aboard. Don't worry. Nothing bad has ever happened on this vessel so far.
This vessel,
Technically
yes.
true, so you don't need to make a deception check. This vessel, nothing bad's happened on it as far as you know, so yeah. No.
Oh, well, that is excellent to hear.
Miles will be like, Miles, the cook. Anyone who complains about the food gets geysered overboard, right?
Guys it overboard. Is that a new version of walking the plank?
Oh, complain about the food and you'll find out.
I'm excited to try the culinary delights coming from this here galley.
Glad to hear it, Swabby.
Brilliant. As the ship takes off, unless anyone else had anything else. Yeah, Josh, yeah.
I was going to introduce myself. I'm
Yeah, no,
Jackson, the first assistant to the captain, or the first mate, whichever you prefer. And I
It
put the
sounds
badge
like
on
they be two different jobs.
No, they be the same job.
They
Unfortunately.
do both have the word first as the first word in the job description, so I guess you've befuddled me into believing that there be true.
Indeed, indeed.
Maybe just say first assistant to the first mate, if you wanted to get away with it.
Yes, I shall do that in the future, Savvy. Swabby, sorry.
I like Savvy too, it's a nice name, I'll take it on board. Swabby be a more of a moniker than an actual name, as you know, in Seabeard.
As he strokes his beard. Now that you're closer, you can see there's barnacles growing inside of it.
This be a more of a moniker.
Gonna strike mine. Aye, that'd be a rather impressive beard there. I'm afraid I can't grow mine quite like that yet.
I'll let you in on a secret. Neither could I until I made a deal with a witch of the sea.
That beard, I don't like the fact that you're starting to grow on me, and I just turn around and walk away.
Much like the barnacle, Swabby grows on all he contacts with.
Ugh.
And he's just as hard to remove once affixed.
Could Miles sidle up next to Jackson and be like, "You want me to shave him in his sleep? I reckon I could do it."
Oh, that would be a fantastic. I would say that Miles knows my real accent because we're both foodies. So I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh yes, if you could, and if you get a chance, when we're like deep out at sea, maybe a little geyser push might
Maybe.
maybe.
I'll see what I can do. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll slip you a few extra spices for the next food.
Oh, thank you, first assistant to the captain, first mate Jackson.
See, someone understands. Right, sorry, I need to put the accent back on. Oh yes, Miles, yes.
I love the idea that Jackson also has like Rear Admiral outfit ready to go as well when he's like, up at that level. Like you've got everything planned out. It just
That
occurred to
thing
me
is
like,
pushed right at the back and has a very thick layer of dust on it.
yeah, it's been a hot minute. And then King of the Pirates just behind that.
Next to the One Piece.
Next to the One Piece. It's literally just a single like piece of puzzle. Like carved out of metal. Just the one piece. There's still another 39 to go until you're able to finish the whole puzzle. Out of interest, as Bob heads on over to go to guess, I've never seen a fishman before.
No. I would suggest you spend some time under the water then.
I can't breathe underwater. Can you breathe underwater?
I don't actually know the answer.
I think you can. I think you can. As a
But yes, I'm
sure you can. Well, I mean, I'd love to spend some time under the water. Were you always a fish person, or did that happen later?
No. I was born a fish person. I suspect I'll die a fish person unless you never really know what's going to happen in one's life. Things get pretty weird sometimes, but
Yeah.
if you'd like, I'm happy to take you underwater anytime you'd like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, could we go now? Looks like they're just getting the sails unfurled and everything. We've got a few seconds. Do you want to quickly go underwater now?
Certainly, let's take a look.
Great. You lead Bob over to the side of the ship. He jumps off, lands in the water, jump in next to him. Bob immediately starts thrashing around, looking somewhat distressed.
I'll swim.
Quite all right. We have to get deeper if we want to see the people. And
I can't swim. I can't swim.
grab his arm and just start pulling him swimming deeper.
I was just going to give everyone water breathing.
Do you cast water breathing? Is it I think it's a 30
It's
foot,
a ritual.
so you don't have to
I
touch
was
him.
going to, but this has already happened.
Yeah. You watch as Globregard just does this whoop, and Bob disappears below the surface of the water.
Now, you see down here, it's a much different land that we can look about. We see the fine rocks over this way, and the deep, nice, clean white sand that leads down into the deeper trenches. Are you getting any of this, Bob? I'm having a bit of... Oh, yes, of course. Humans. That's right. We better bring you back to the ship before you expire, as it were. And Glub starts grabbing him and bringing him back up to the surface.
A stream of bubbles erupts from him as you grab him to the surface.
As close as we can to him running out of here.
Water. Not as easy to breathe as you made it out to be.
But as much as you can. There's a few tricks around it, but well,
Tricks.
perhaps if you'd like.
All right, everybody, get in. We're gonna prepare the water breathing. Get in the circle.
Don't need to worry about that. Bob is not interested in going back right now as he collapses
about-
onto the deck. Vomits a little bit more seawater.
Bob, quick
If you
question.
follow the deep, he could save you.
Why on earth would
hello.
you get a job on a ship if you can't swim?
My mum said that my dad was a sailor and that I should follow in his footsteps.
Right. You know what? I'm not even going to engage in this any further. Just, whatever.
That's what my mum said.
Did she ask you to move? Oh, sorry, I'm Barry.
Does your
Yeah.
mum
Did she
not
ask
love
you
you?
to move out of the house? Well, previously before that?
Yeah, I'd
Or-
been living in the basement for like 6 years before that.
Oh, well, that was done. I trust.
And I'm guessing your dad ain't around anymore because his footsteps left him out to the sea.
No, I never met my dad.
Yeah.
Barry gives him a hug.
He accepts it.
Oh, this is nice. I didn't get a lot of these growing up.
He comes back.
Oh.
I think I just got the answer to my question there. Right.
Brilliant. Keel casts off the vessel, and as it takes off away from port, the weather is calm and clear. The waves almost flat, the ocean a mill pond before you, as the vessel cuts through the waves. Before too long, a pod of dolphins begins jumping up around the prow of the ship, riding in the wake of this slightly smaller sloop. And it feels somewhat fortuitous, your luck having finally changed. As the winds push from behind, powering the vessel even faster and faster forwards, the sloop catching the wind, keel expertly maneuvering the ship. It takes only 1 or 2 hours before Orchid Bay falls away behind you, disappearing into the distance, and the other islands in the archipelago starting to appear on the horizon. As the waves cut by, as the vessel speeds along, you watch as Karin from the crow's nest suddenly pauses, looks up, listening. And then as she slowly begins to climb down, walks to the side of the ship and looks out, she almost looks like she's listening to something, dazed and confused. And then without any further warning, she steps up onto the rails of the ship and steps off the edge. You hear a splash. She just vanishes off the side of the ship.
What
Not a
the?
bad idea.
Miles is gonna drop the lime he was just putting into elegant slices and look over the side of the
Like
ship.
butterflying this beautiful lime is like an open flower. It's really fancy. Yeah, like a smear of gravy across each plate, Michelin star restaurant style.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the side and look over to see if I can
Salt
see
base and caviar over the plates. Yeah, as you look over the side, there's no sign of Karen. Could I get you to roll me a quick perception check?
Barry will cast. Well, I mean, as an action, you can perform. Barry starts playing his Kanjo and does a counter charm.
Yeah, I was just gonna say maybe we should get Barry playing something.
Yep.
Do you
Yeah.
know if I should roll to figure out siren or not?
What are you guys talking about? What are you talking about?
Sorry,
I'm sorry. Oh, one of you starts hearing. Barry, your counter charm. Let me just quickly double check. I think
As an action,
apply
you can
that-
perform until the end of your next turn. During that time, you and any friendly creatures within 30 feet that hear you gain advantage on saving throws against being frightened.
That is so good because the next thing that happens.
How's that one go again, Barry?
Yeah, how does it go, Barry?
Counter charm, counter charm, counter charm, counter charm.
See what I have to deal with, everybody. And Dave's in
That's the
2
one.
of my campaigns at the moment.
You love it.
As Barry begins going, counter charm, Ohana means family, counter charm, dancing around. Suddenly, out of nowhere, this single chord, voices in harmony, 2 or 3 all at once, begin to ring out across the sea, rising in tempo and volume. This beautiful, haunting melody, somewhat undercut by Barry's counter charm, taking away some of the power of this music. I'm going to get all of you to roll me a wisdom saving throw with advantage as a result of Barry's counter charm.
Thanks, Barry.
That's a wild counter charm.
Oh, Barry.
Oh, that's a 5 and an 8.
Okay.
But he's the one who's saving us all.
Barry, you try to harmonize with the sirens.
Well, there's
so
only
that's-
one roll. You have advantage, right?
It does 5
I
and
got
8.
5
It's
and
the
8.
2 rolls.
Oh
so
no!
we'll take the 8. Globragar, that was a 12 and a 19, so that's the 19. Miles, that was a 16 and a 17, so 17 for you. Oh no, 16 and what was your second one?
I rolled them both at the same time. It was a 15 and an 8. So, the 16.
Oh, I can't see your other one, but that's fine. Doesn't matter. Yeah, take the absolutely. Oh, I see. And then it's shown which one was the winner. Nice.
Yeah.
You've got some fucking skills with Roll20, mate. 16.
I just right
brilliant.
click and ask you if you want to roll with advantage. Yeah.
That's
What?
it. Catalyst
I
for Bai, that's a 3 and an 18, and then for Jackson, 17. Everyone passes except for Barry. Keel passes, Swabby Seabeard passes, and Bob also passes. Barry, as you finish your song,
Can I be like, oh yeah, so Barry's like, it's alright, I got this, and he starts playing his counter charm song, and as he's playing, he just gets up from his hammock and starts walking to the edge, stands on the side,
Yeah.
and while playing and singing, just jumps off.
Okay. Sure. I was going to describe something else, but you could do that if you like. That's what happens. Barry's counter charm song ends with counter charm, as he disappears below the surface of the waves.
Well, there goes our advantage on the next roll.
I'm going to get everyone to...
Can I jump over and grab him?
Yes, absolutely. I was going to say, I'll also get everyone to roll me initiative, not because we're in any form of combat, just because I think I need to have a bit of a handle on this. Before you roll initiative, what I'll do is I'll bring you over to... Oh, it's fine. Just roll it, whatever. Just roll it. You won't have tokens to click on, so that's all good.
Oh
just start from
yeah!
here.
High initiative, that's great.
23.
No one can stop me now.
So,
What?
21 for Miles, 6 for Glorra, 23 for Barry, 15 for Bai, and 22 for Jackson. Nice. As Barry disappears over the side of the boat, as soon as you hit the water, Barry, the charm effect ends immediately, the water sort of shocking you back to your senses. And as you look down into the dark waters below, you see a beautiful goblin lady, mermaid tail behind her. I'd probably say for Barry, it's going to be like a goldfish tail. I'm going to try to make this like the most attractive goblin siren for Barry. This like goldfish tail swimming behind her, hands reaching out, dressed in almost nothing, Barry, just some seashells over her lovely chest. Beautiful, long, flowing black hair with little bones tied into it. Sharp pointed teeth that have been filed to these really beautiful shiny points. And as she smiles and reaches up a hand towards you, the charm effect ends. But as you look down, beautiful creature looks back at you. smiling. What would Barry do?
Yeah, Barry would do one of two things. I'm not 100% sure what he would do. He would either give himself bardic inspiration to pick her up, or give her bardic inspiration as a gift to try and pick her up.
Do you want to roll me a d20? And
yeah, okay, 10 or less. It's the illusion, 10 or more, and it's him. Oh, sorry, 10. Okay, it's yep. Bardic swims. Barry swims towards the mermaid goblin, gives her a wink and the guns, and being like, because he's underwater, it's just like, and gives the illusion or whatever it is a bardic inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you channel the magic through you, your charm, as you look towards this gorgeous lady and attempt to woo her. The magic takes hold. You're not sure what happens specifically, but you feel the magic channel within you, that charm and that debonair attitude. And she smiles even deeper. She reaches out a hand towards your face to place a gentle touch upon your cheek. That's your bonus action. Any action, Barry?
Barry's not actually charmed, so he has his sense, right? He like
yeah. You know, as soon as you touch the water, the charm effect ends.
He probably knows this is a trap.
Do you want to make me a insight check or a nature check? I'm going to say insight or nature, your choice.
17.
Barry, you've heard about sirens before. Sirens can sing beautiful songs to lure sailors off ships. They can take on a form that is the most pleasing to their victims. One who hears their song then perceives them as a beautiful creature, the most attractive creature that they can possibly imagine. They do eat people, though. Yeah, there is that. Yeah, there is that. They do eat people. Yeah. I mean, it depends. It's not 100% a red flag for Barry, but it'd be more of an orange to darker burnt umber in terms of like possibility of a relationship. You'll notice, for those of you who are listening, when I speak to players as the DM, I often speak as their subconscious based on how they've acted during that. It's really fun for me. I recommend it. It's my favorite thing to do. Yeah, I mean, it's not 100% a red flag, but you could make it work. No one's perfect.
Yeah, but Barry's had ex-goblin girlfriends that ended worse than that, so...
I mean, you know that one of your mates, his face was eaten when he broke up with his partner of 6 years.
But he kind of had it coming. He was a bit of a jerk.
Man, he stayed inside and played Pocket Rig, which is a goblin game where you have two goalposts at either end of a tiny board and flick little soccer balls towards each one. Dave, what games are you playing in spare time? It's Rocket League, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's right.
Rocket League.
Yeah.
Okay, now Barry, after giving the bardic inspiration, because that's already happened, realized that he is in danger, and he's like, I know, Cousin Bai will know what to do. So Barry's gonna start trying to swim up.
Perfect.
Away.
You use your full movement to swim towards the surface of the water. You didn't drop too far. You break the surface of the water.
Yeah, and if the goblin maiden really wants to be with him, then she will follow.
Fair. Yeah, I mean, Barry, you watch as the ship, which is moving pretty quickly with the wind in its sails, as you get to the surface and look, is now about 40 feet away, having continued to move as you dropped into the water. Perfect. Wonderful. Let's move on to the next person in the initiative, Miles.
Hey. So, the two members of our crew have just leaped overboard. Fantastic.
Well, really only one.
Yeah. There was a red shirt was the other one, I mean.
Fairly newer, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm going to... Is there perhaps some sort of inflatable ring nearby?
That is a good question. Do you want to make me a quick perception or investigation check, your choice?
I will investigation. A 21.
21. You're not a savage, Miles, you made sure that this ship had adequate safety devices in case of an emergency. The bosun didn't think these were necessary, but you did insist on the previous vessel that there needed to be flotation devices, just in case Jackson went over again. Jackson has fallen off the vessel once. He's an okay swimmer, but he doesn't, like, with all of his, like, clothing, the costume that he puts on, it gets quite heavy in the water, and his ability to tread water for long stretches of time has been tested, and he has come up wanting. So you did insist, for Jackson's benefit, that you might need some flotation devices just in case of emergency. Yeah, you rush to the side of the ship. There are 4 of these essentially like covered foam that's been wrapped in a waterproof leather and dyed a bright, vibrant orange to draw the eye. And as you fling one of them over towards Barry, I'll get you to make me a ranged attack, please. Because that's like, I mean, that's the most accurate way to kind of sum up how you throw this. Do it as just like a ranged attack.
Yeah, cool. I'll just gonna use my short bow.
Yeah, exactly. You pull out your short bow, aim at Barry.
Damn, 21.
21.
What the hell?
Consistency is key for these sort of situations. Was your initiative 21 as well? Yeah, 21
my initiative was 21.
21 investigation.
What the fuck?
Karen, have we talked about the Roll20 plugin that allows you to consistently pick the same dice rolls each time?
No.
Because it looks like you've installed it, honey.
Oh.
As you like come back and then throw discus this life preserver towards Barry, it just like literally right around his head as his arms sort of come up to wave for help. You just land this beautifully, threading the needle. Barry, as you're sort of like trying to like reach up to get help and to signal that you're in the water, the life preserver straight around you and then tugs you behind the boat as you suddenly feel yourself being pulled forwards, the rope still attached to the keel of the boat, as you just feel it's like, what? It is now quite fun, I would say, Barry. To begin. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. I'd say that's an action. Miles, anything else on your turn?
I'll possibly be like, should we leave him back there? I think he's having fun.
Yeah, ropes will hold. They're new.
And thus you have invented a new sport today. Perfect. Next up in the initiative is... Oh, actually, it should have been Jackson before Miles. I am so sorry, Josh.
No worries. I was going to do the same thing anyway, so it's fine.
Oh, cool. It is now your turn.
I'm going to run to the back of the boat. Going to see Barry, and I'm going to look to see if there's anything that looks to be attacking him.
Nothing attacking him, but as you peer over the edge, could I please get a perception check? Or investigation. Your choice.
I shall go for perception.
Perception.
22.
Ooh.
22.
Ooh.
You can see, riding in the wake behind Barry, a dark, serpent-like form. Tail occasionally flicking above the surface of the water, revealing this long fish-like tail. Because none of you were enraptured by the song, only Barry, you perceive the sirens in their true form. Monstrous, open, gaping fish-like mouths, clawed, webbed fingers, this long, sinewy fish-like tail, frills of almost like a crest of red coming back and leaning behind them. And you see one dolphin diving behind Barry, desperately trying to get up. As it breaks the surface of the water, only like 2 or 3 meters behind him, it lets out this horrific shriek. Barry, you hear it as a ah. The rest of you hear.
How far is it?
It's only a few. I'd say probably like 10 feet behind Barry. Let's say maybe 20 feet behind Barry. 60 feet from the aft of the boat.
Okay, I am going to draw my hand crossbow, sort of use the back of the ship to balance it, and then I'm going to fire 2 shots. I have sharpshooters, so I ignore disadvantage at a long range, over 30 feet, which is my normal range. And I shall sharpshooter it as well.
Sharpshooter the devil!
The first one was
this pesky sea wench.
11.
6 to hit, sorry.
6.
That's
That says
minus
11.
5, so 6 to hit.
Oh, minus 5 because you're sharpshooter. The arrow slams into the edge of the life preserver that Barry is currently riding on. Barry, you now have a handhold to hold on to. Perfect.
Yay.
Plateau!
I'll go again. God, that's a 13
18
to hit.
13. 13 is the DC. As the siren breaks free of the water, claws coming out, leaning down, ready to grab onto Barry. The arrow takes it in the chest, and you watch as it spins, slamming into the water with this screech. Roll me some damagios.
That is going to be 17 points of damage, piercing damage.
Ooh, nice.
My God. I'm going to revise that. It doesn't hit the chest. You watch as it takes it in the center of the head. The head just peels back in this sudden moment of impact. The siren tumbles and falls backwards, the momentum slamming it into the surface of the water as it disappears behind Barry. With your previous perception check, Jackson, you see 2 more dark shapes far behind, gaining pace, but for the moment, Barry is no longer in immediate danger, which is perfect timing because the next highest initiative after that was the siren that was about to attack Barry. Is there anything else on your turn? Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is there anything else on your turn?
I'm just picturing that I'm shooting these things, and Barry's just going while being dragged along. I will use my bonus action because I have the crossbow expert feat to shoot again, and I'll shoot one of the other ones.
Brilliant.
With the same
These
thing.
ones are a little bit further away, probably about 90 feet away, if that changes it.
That's fine. That's fine. My max range with a hand crossbow is 120.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, that's really bad. That's a 5.
As the arrow slams into the water, because of the way they're moving under the water with the dark shapes, the sea and the ocean kind of breaking view occasionally, the waves dissipating what your view is and breaking line of sight, you just unfortunately can't make that second shot third shot. As you make that third shot, just disappears under the water.
There's 2 more. 2 more. Oh, Barry, 2 more behind you. Trying to get Barry's attention. Just trying to hand signal and gesture and yeah.
Peace, yeah.
Peace.
That's my turn.
Oh, amazing. Well, the siren got shot in the head is somewhere way behind. You don't see the outcome of that shot, but the siren no longer seems to be following rapidly behind Barry. The other 2 use their entire turn with the dash to catch up to Barry, getting within 10 feet of him as they get behind the boat. You can see one of them, the maw is stained with blood and bits of fabric stuck between its teeth as it dives above the surface and then leaps down towards Barry.
Might have been Karen.
Yeah. The good news is, though, they have to use their entire movement to get up to you, Barry, so that is the end of their turn. Next up in our initiative order, it looks like it is Bai.
All right. So they're now within 60 feet of the back of the boat.
They are within 60 feet. They are within 50 feet of the back of the boat.
Okay, so that should leave enough room for this. Hopefully I'm able to aim this just right. I'm going to fire a shatter just behind Barry. To not quite hit him, but hit the rest of it. And hopefully the push of the waves.
The range on shatter, I think, is 60 feet, isn't it?
It is 60 feet. So you said 50 feet, 10 foot.
Yeah.
So it should be
Barry's just out of range for this.
Yeah, it should be just enough.
Alrighty, I believe I have to make a con save for both the sirens with shatter.
Yes, con save.
Brilliant. Do those saves now. One is a 12. I'm guessing that fails, and the next one is a 15. Does that pass or fail?
Which is the save, so it needs to
just passes. So 1 fail, 1 pass. Would you like to roll me some shatter damage?
Yeah, so 11 for the one that failed, and I believe 5 for the one that didn't. I mean, that
fantastic. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty good. Actually, what I'll get you to do as well, shatter's thunder damage, isn't it? Deafening thunder damage. Could you roll me a D100, please?
Let me find that.
Yeah.
21.
21. Not quite enough. I was going to see if it deafened one of the siren that took the full damage. I was going to see if it deafened it so it was unable to use its haunting melody again. Unfortunately not, but that's okay because you guys still have a full round of actions before they get to go again. So yeah, as this blast of shatter, this thunder damage detonates behind you, Barry, you are shot partially forward before the boat then catches up, and you jerk back again into the back of the life preserver. Water showers down like rain from above as a sphere, 10 feet wide sphere of the ocean just detonates from the thunder damage. The two sirens who are right in the middle of it get shot sideways, pushed out of range of Barry by this sudden explosion of water. One of them catches up again immediately. The other one, dazed and confused, tumbles a bit and falls about 10 feet further back. So one's now 60 feet away, one's now 70 feet away.
Bai's just giving Barry a thumbs up like, yeah, do a flip.
Do a flip. Do a barrel roll. Outstanding. Bringing up the rear.
Oh, sirens, such beautiful creatures when they're not trying to defeat you. Go in peace, will you?
Glub says as he slams his trident onto the back of the deck, and they can both make wisdom saves. DC 14.
That's a natural 1 for the first one. That's not good. That's a 13 for the second.
Assuming they count as humanoids.
They would count as humanoids, definitely. That's
And they are
2 fails.
Held personed.
As you reach out with your dark magic, what does it look like? The will
I
of
think this is the whole person is literally, you would see a collection of seaweed and crab claws, tentacles with eyes, other ones just covered in mouths, reach up and just wrap themselves around the two of the sirens as they start to pull them backwards away from Barry, locking them into position. Their eyes and mouths gape in horrible screams with the blood hanging from them.
A silent scream as a tentacle wraps around the inside of each mouth, pulls them down into the briny depths.
Truly, my beautiful creatures, we would be best to leave in peace.
As he looks at the rest of the group, shamedly.
That is fantastic and perfectly timed. As the sirens fall away, Barry's still being dragged behind the boat. Yes, Barry?
For the first time in this entire ordeal, Barry thinks he's in danger.
Hang on. The auto filter's cutting you out. What do you say?
That's even more perfect.
We can't hear into the waves.
Dave, I just want you to know that the voice you're doing is so perfect that Zoom is not treating it as a voice and is treating it as a peripheral sound that needs to be filtered out. Just so
Barry,
you know.
Barry's panicking because he thinks there's something in the water that's after him.
Oh yeah, horrible, slimy, massive tentacles just grabbed these two beautiful women and dragged them down into the depths of the ocean. I mean, you're beautiful, Barry. You could be next if this thing targets beautiful creatures.
I'm not having fun anymore.
That's perfect. Swabby uses his action to rush up and begin pulling the rope to get you back on board, Barry. And as the rest of you join in and pull Barry onto the deck of the ship, heaving and sort of like coughing and spluttering, having been dragged behind the boat for like a good minute. As you get him onto the deck of the ship, Barry, you are soaked through. Salt stings your eyes and nose, and you can feel your throat burning as you breathed in and swallowed a fair bit of salt water.
Oh, I'm just gonna lie here for a bit. I'm just gonna just lie down here for a bit. It's alright. I'm just listening.
And as Barry takes a little break in game, so are we going to take a little break out of game. We will be right back, everybody. How does 5 minutes to quickly refill water bottles, empty bladders, and grab snacks sound?
Right.
Not those first two you don't have to do into the same container. Just so you know. Unless you want to.
We just restocked the ship. There's water. It's fine.
It's fine. You're not there yet.
We're not so desperate for the action economy at this point.
Yeah, exactly. So, please don't go anywhere, everybody. Now's a great time to quickly hit that donate button while we're quickly away for 5 minutes. Now's the perfect time to do it. Quickly donate. Make sure. Hang on, have we? Oh my god, we're so close to the 1,500, 1,480, and is that 1 cent.
1 cent.
Whoever that legend is who donated a number and a cent, I salute you, sir. You make me so happy. Perfect. All right, everybody, make sure you use this opportunity to donate. We're going to quickly go grab a quick refill of drink bottles. We will be back in 5 minutes, so don't go anywhere. See you guys soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hey guys, Josh the Pirate here. I just wanted to take a quick moment and actually talk about the charity that we're actually raising money for today, because yeah, we're having a great time, we're having loads of fun, amazing creatives have pledged their time, incredible sponsors have pledged their support, but we actually haven't talked a lot about who Childhood Cancer Support actually is, what they do, so I thought I'd just give you a quick lowdown on that. Childhood Cancer Support focuses on a different area of the cancer process than a lot of other charities. In Australia, a lot of people live rural. There is something like 20% of the population live outside of cities. And in a country where 95% of the surface area is rural, that could mean quite a long trek to get to any hospital facilities or anything like that. So Childhood Cancer Support is actually all about that element of it, about supporting people through one of the hardest things that a parent or a family can ever go through with a child. So Childhood Cancer Support, the 3 primary things they do: free family unit accommodation for families that travel in to get treatment, free hospital and airport transfers, so they just take the hassle out of it, and on-site mental health support, counseling and social support services, all of which hugely important. I imagine when your kid is that sick, you don't have time for your social life, you don't have time for your own mental health, it's all about the kid. So having this charity that also supports that is incredibly important, and I think really valuable. So yeah, that's what they're for. Thanks very much.
Hello, welcome back. I hope everyone's had a nice quick break. Yeah, give a wave. Yeah. I was hoping for some happiness and excitement, but Agent has provided us with the other side of that coin, which is just sad resignation. Thank you for that. It's good. It's good to have the whole spectrum of human emotion as we come back live.
He did lose out on those 3 beautiful fish women.
I did. I'll never get them back.
He's still managing that crushing heartbreak. Why is it all the beautiful ones who just disappear into the briny depths of the sea as they disappear back behind you? But the good news is, though, there's always another fish in the ocean, so you'll be fine.
Always a bigger fish.
There's always a bigger fish too.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's Globrogar's. I don't know if that's comforting to him or not.
That's what you're into,
And on that note,
big fish need loving too.
Big fish need loving too. Thank you for joining us, everybody. So far in this pirate-themed one-shot, 2 of our cabin boys have fought for supremacy. We've wrecked a ship, stolen from a crowd of people, invented, what was it? It was spam and can style music, fought off some sirens, and also invented... what would that be? It'd be like jet boating? What is that where you get pulled behind a boat in a little flotation device?
Ooh.
Yeah, inner tubing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think we also have to acknowledge the crew member that we lost.
Oh, yep. Moment
Right.
silent for Karen. She'll never ask for the manager again.
She didn't even get a chance to ask for the manager, unfortunately. So I rolled a d6 to see which person would be first affected by the siren song. I'm going to be honest, I was hoping for Bob or Swabby because I had a whole thing with Karen asking for the captain and asking for the manager, but I had to go with the dice roll, and as it was a 3, that was Karen gone. She just immediately went,
Crow's Nest made sense as well.
yeah, kind of did. Perfect. So where we left off in our horrific adventure. Oh, actually, I should say as well, holy shit, I've just noticed the progress bar. Has anyone else noticed?
It's just gone over during the break.
Somebody nailed
Now.
that donation.
We just crossed 69.
It's perfect.
1,500.
All right, so no more pennies. We keep it all in the hundreds and the
Yeah,
so on.
you can only donate in integers of 100 now. It's the rules. Thank you so much, everybody. I cannot believe that we've crossed that goal. Amazing. You guys are incredible. And as a reward, I am going to have chat vote. You have 2 options for what will now happen to these players as a result of crossing. I didn't tell the players any of this. They have no idea what I'm about to do. You have the choice. I'm going to look through the comments. I want to see. There is a vote now going. Actually, we can make a vote, can't we, in Twitch? This is a thing we can do.
Yes. How do you make a vote?
I don't know how to do it, though. I don't know how to do it. Does anyone know how to make a vote in Twitch?
Predictions.
Ooh.
Usually
Predictions.
Predictions
Predictions is good to do. Let's make a predictions. Are you able to do that, Agent?
Oh, I can't, but the Karen should be able to.
Karen can
Just
make
tell me
Wait,
where
there's
to.
polls and predictions.
Where do I do
Polls
it?
and
Let's do a poll.
Predictions are they can try to win points if we want to set something up.
I'm going to do a poll because I want chat to choose between. They have 2 options for what's going to happen. And then one of the options will trigger a poll and we'll have, well, actually, I guess one of the actions will trigger a prediction, and whoever gets the most, that will be the prediction that comes true, and they'll get points for it as well. But you have a choice between triggering a wild magic surge on the deck of the ship, or you may summon a monster, and I will hand over that. I'll give you some options, and you can choose. Actually, I'm even happy just to have you suggest a monster, and whichever one I like the look of most will be the monster we do. So we'll make a poll. There's no rush on this because we'll have the magic surge trigger at an opportune moment as well. But yeah, chat, you have the power to choose either a wild magic surge. And now I should let you know I have a D100 wild magic surge table which has 100 options on it. I use it in my campaign all the time. It's loads of fun for me, not so much for the players. Please, I'm personally hoping for the wild magic surge, but also monster. Suggest a monster and I will bring it in. I'll adjust the CR accordingly, so I don't care what monster you suggest. I'll balance it as we go to make sure it's appropriate. Or maybe I shouldn't balance it. Maybe it's more fun if I
Let's
don't.
see what happens. We might need to abandon a ship.
Maybe. So yeah, we will get onto that. Make a vote. I will check in on that very, very soon, and we'll see what that is. So amazing work, everybody! Holy shit! Thank you so much, all of you who've donated. Thank you. You guys are incredible. But Josh is going to wake up to some excellent news.
Good morning, sweetheart. We did it.
Mm-hmm. We did it. That is so exciting. We did it.
Just don't say anything. Just let him come on to the next stream and
see if he notices.
See it for himself.
That could be fun. Oh my goodness. So yeah, we'll check that poll. Get your votes in if you haven't voted. Should I vote? I feel like I shouldn't vote.
I feel like players maybe not, but DM. Put your thumb on the scale.
I won't.
It is a 80%
wild magic surge. Excellent. I'll trigger that when I feel like it. Just when the mood takes me. Dear. So I have been described as quite similar to a member of the Archfey before in my capricious nature, so I'm sure that won't be a problem for you guys. Nothing to worry about there. Excellent. As the boat speeds along, the sirens dropping into the distance behind you, fading away out of sight onto the horizon. Barry lying down, having had a moment to collect himself after being dragged behind the ship for the last sort of like minute and a half. The rest of you get back to your duties, making sure the ship is running. Miles rushes down and continues creating this artistry that is cooking. Actually,
so many limes.
Yeah. Could I have you roll me, Miles? Just because we haven't rolled to see your cooking skills yet. I'm wondering what would be the best roll for gastronomy. I reckon maybe like a constitution. Actually, no, tell you what. I'm gonna let you tell me which one it should be, because which sort of cooking style are you going for? Are you doing like very precise, delicate like techniques to kind of create these beautiful, very hard to make items? Are you following a very complex recipe, which might be using your intelligence? Are you making it look gorgeous, which might be more of a charisma role? What kind of like cooking style do you employ?
I think it's
food's medicine.
I think it's kind of like we're cooking in bulk, so it's not particularly elaborate or refined, but it has a lot of flavor in it.
I love the idea that as you get back, you just slowly take one plate, move it over to the sides. Yeah, I reckon if you're going for like a lot of flavor, I think maybe that's kind of like charisma or con. I'm gonna let you pick out a charisma or con.
Let's make it
Just a flat roll.
Look, I reckon Constitution, because how much spice can we handle in this?
Ooh, okay, nice.
16. So
16.
It's a few chilies going in.
Oh yeah. I guess, Miles, you're also trying to hide the flavor of some of the older rations that you're a ship's cook. You don't want to waste food, and there's perfectly good ingredients. You just need to hide the flavor a bit.
Yeah,
These fussy shipmates might think that they can't eat maggots, but it's protein. You said before.
Yeah, you can eat anything with enough chili sauce in it.
You heard it here first, everybody. You can eat anything with enough chili sauce. This C4 is delicious. As you begin serving up this very spicy dish, all of you who enjoy it can't taste a hint of maggot. It's delicious. It's fantastic. The lime, the little squirt of lime juice kind of helps offset the spice of the chili, giving it a much more deep and complex flavor profile. It's outstanding. All of you enjoy a delicious, delicious lunch.
Thank you.
Really any maggot in this. Blah, disgusting.
It's missing a little something.
I forgot. Blah, blah, blah. I actually quite liked the addition. Perfect. As the ship gets closer to the destination, the waves again, the weather perfect, the waves light and barely any choppiness to them. Keel calls out from his position at the wheel.
I think we are getting close to the point where we must make a decision about which way we want to go. The sandbar is off to our left. We wanted to head to the small deserted island. The larger rocky island off towards the right from this position. Which way did we want to go?
I think Bob and Swabby, you guys should watch the deck while we go check out the maps and huddles and waves to get everyone to go into the captain's quarters.
Swabby lifts up his eye patch and moves it to the other eye, and then keeps an eye out. He does seem to have two perfectly working eyes.
I can take a look. Let me use me good eye.
As he swaps over the eye patch.
Show off.
Oh, we've all got good eyes
Look
now.
who's got two good eyes.
That's really insensitive.
Got that depth perception.
Swabby. Swabby, I'm reporting you to HR for this. This is unacceptable.
Just rubbing
GR
your good
goblin
eye in our
resources.
faces.
Yeah. No, that's what Globbragar does. Rubs the good eyes in people's faces with the massive tentacles. As you all head into the captain's cabin with Keel, Keel hands over the platinum disc once again.
Ah, yes. Anyone wants to take a look at the map? Please do so now.
I'll have a peer at it.
Yeah. Could I get you to please make me an Arcana check?
13.
13. As you begin
Middling.
playing around with the dials and moving the map into position, it zooms in on your location. And you watch as the red dot flickers between the 2 points. Turns out Jackson wasn't wrong. By stating that it was in a state of quantum flux, the two of them, I thought, why not make it? So you have manifested this, Josh. This is your fault.
I fully accept it.
So how fast is that moving between the 2 points?
As
Let's
one
do the
light
math.
flicks on and then flicks off, it literally just rotates between the two of them, flicking on and off.
So it's not moving between them.
Should it be right between the two in the center?
Maybe there's two treasures.
Ooh.
Maybe it's stuck on one of them teleportation thingies and it keeps going between the two locations.
Well,
Maybe.
So we can't be wrong.
that's where I was thinking. We can't be wrong.
It's
And
just
we-
turn around that luck.
Does the map zoom in on the locations themselves? Do we get a visual of what is actually on the islands?
Yeah, as Miles begins turning the dials, you zoom in. There's a limit to how far it can go. It seems to still be locked onto a bit of a bird's eye view. But as you zoom in, you can see that the smaller sandbar island. I mean, roughly it'd take you maybe 15, 20 minutes to walk around the entire circumference of this island. The coral atoll around the outer edges, creating a bit of a half-moon bay. But there is a clear landing site, and you can see what looks like a small jetty constructed on the edge of the island near this kind of break in the reef, as well as what looks to be a rowboat up on the sand near it.
Ew.
Now, you mentioned it was a topographical map, like it showed heights.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
are the dots? Does it show that they're deep underground or in the same level?
Hmm.
That is a great question.
Ah.
As you begin sort of turning to look, leaning down. Actually, probably you don't even need to. As at your goblin height, you just look up at it from underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah. The dots are in two different locations. For the sandbar island, it looks like it's on the surface, right on the edge of where the jungle and the sand meet, just probably like a couple of maybe 15, 20 meters away from the edge of the jetty. Looks like it's on the surface. For the other entrance, for the other dot, you can see there is breaking open the side of the island what looks like a large cave opening. And you can see that the dot is inside this cave. The map doesn't show you inside the cave itself, but you can see the dot appears to be inside this large cave. And I would also say that as you have a bit of a look around, you can also see signs of this island having been recently visited. It looks like someone has put a large wooden sign over the top of this cave and painted it with what looks like a skull.
Oh yeah, that's the one we want to go down for sure.
You know, we could do two jobs in one if we go that way. Or, we are a privateer ship. Well, originally. Deal with some
I
pirates.
say let's go for it.
I'm not fast. Other one.
If there's
Can we,
if there's other people, there
Sorry?
might be food to steal.
This is good. Can we turn the maps? Can we turn the map so it's more of a horizontal view, so we can see the island from an eye level and maybe see what is below? You know, the tunnel. I could have done all of that out of character because that's what I was asking.
No, I much prefer you
could be
did
asking
in
a
character. I much prefer that. Yeah, I mean, do you want to make me an Arcana check to see if you can try and manipulate the map into a position that is ideal?
I can certainly try.
I could certainly give it a go.
That was almost a natural one, but it rolled to a 19 for a 20.
Unnatural 20, or as my campaign players like to call it, a filthy or dirty 20. As you...
Dirty 20.
As you begin sort of manipulating the
Dirt.
gears, turning the map view, it suddenly drops down the layers again, like this effect that Boy was able to activate before, dropping below the ocean. Beneath the sandbar island, it just looks like there's coral reefs all around the outside. But the large cave on Gilligan's Rest continues deep below the water. In fact, to Globrogar's excitement, a large trench seems to split the land underneath this island. And as you look down, the trench continues as far as the map will load.
Oh yeah, that's
Whoa.
definitely the one we want to go down.
That looks intriguing.
Oh, the deeper the better, generally. This is where all the best secrets are kept.
Right. Well, then, if you would like me to sail for Gilligan's Rest, I can set that as our destination now. Are we all in agreement?
That's all.
Aye.
Aye, as they say.
Excellent. I will begin making the preparations at once.
Perfect. As the ship sails on, off towards the far port side of the ship, you can see the small island move past you. From your view on the deck of the ship, the small forest at the edge of the sandbar looks to be vibrant and inviting. The sun at this point just beginning to drop a little bit lower in the horizon, casting this orange glow across the beach. As you continue on, Mist begins to curl around the top of the ocean, tendrils shifting and moving almost like tentacles. And as you sail away from the setting sun, the weather turns colder, darker. As you begin to catch glimpses of this island, the rocky outcropping Gilligan's Rest, far in the distance. The island is bleak and wind-stepped, sheer stone battered by the waves and wind, giving this sudden and broken appearance as it rises up from the waters below. As Keel winds the ship through a series of rocky outcroppings beneath the water, the sea level quite shallow as you approach the far side of the island, the water suddenly drops away underneath you to this dark, fathomless depth. And to your left, as the ship spins around the island, you see a cave opening, massive, large enough to sail a ship into easily. The darkness beyond, broken only by the occasional flickering of a torch, just visible in the shadows inside the island cave. What would you guys like to do? Sail on through, carry on?
Our luck's
Brilliant.
been good so far.
Yeah, I see what could only be described as hesitant, scared nods from all the cast. So I say we do it, everybody. Let's go!
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
We experience the
As-
worst.
perfectly.
We can only experience the best.
Just a big
As-
skull at the top. Nothing bad could happen.
Exactly. What could go wrong? As you begin to sail through into the dark cave, torches along the edges of your ship are lit one by one as Bob and Swabby rush to light the torches. Bob also rushing to the top of the crow's nest to keep an eye out to make sure that you're not going to damage the mast as you head inside this cave network. At first, it takes a moment for your eyes to adjust to the shadowed view. But before too long, you can see the entire island itself must be hollowed out. The cave that you're sailing into is vast. But still, the sea floor never rises to meet you. Just this massive crevice below. The two sections of the cave rising up to a point from either side of this split in the land beneath you. Inside, you see torches begin to flicker, and a large ship, not too dissimilar in size to your own, moored at a series of docks that have been constructed on the inside of the cave. I'm going to bring you across to a map, and you'll be able to see. Just quickly check this on. Alrighty, can you guys see that yet, or has it not come across?
Mine hasn't loaded, but
Okay, let me give it one more red
Not
hot
yet,
go.
my hearty.
How about now? No?
Loading.
I'm gonna
That's
roll.
being negative.
That's be a negatory.
That's
right.
being
I'll,
negative,
I'll
boy.
just refresh my my roll 20, and we'll give it one more hot go. But once I bring you across, you should be able to see everything. Let me know if any of your tokens are not working. As you begin to head on into the cave, there is a sudden cry from the ship that you are heading towards, and up in the crow's nest, you see a figure, what looks like a half orc, light green skin, dressed in typical pirate garb, vest open and slashed in several places, ragged pants, calls out from inside the cave. "We got visitors inside! Come! We got visitors!" And as you begin to head into the cave, you see along the port and along this makeshift dock, a number of figures begin to emerge from the shadow, some along the port itself, some on the deck of the ship. And as they look out at you, you watch weapons being drawn one by one.
Oh no, it looks like we'll have to kind of kill them all.
Just say that to the rest of your crew.
Yeah.
Do we really have to fight?
Hey, it's extra pay guaranteed. We just gotta find out what crew they're part of.
They might be able to help us. You never know. They're all so quick to violence.
As your ship draws to a point, the anchor drops over the side. You watch as a large blue dragonborn stalks to the front of the moored ship, stepping up onto the figurehead, standing like very, very tall, standing at the very front, staring down at you.
What brings you into our cave, strangers? How did you know this place was here?
We were told to bring the thing for you guys. We were told to deliver something for you.
You were told to deliver something? What,
Yeah.
pray tell, were you told to deliver, and by whom?
I'm not sure what
Disc.
it was. They told me not to open it.
You watch as the blue dragonborn sort of cocks his head, a little bit confused, but also like this point isn't a bad one. It's just sort of like,
Well, who sent you here?
Can I roll history to try and help with like a notable pirate that might help these guys?
yeah, sure, absolutely, yeah. I'd say you can roll a history if you want to. Probably history is the best one here, actually. Yeah, I'd say history makes sense. 11. As you try and sort of like look, you're trying to think through. Like, do you know of any pirates that are either captained or crewed by this very distinctive blue dragonborn?
Mhm.
You can see that one of his crests on the side has actually been cut off, leaving a jagged scar. A central horn rising up from the top of his maw, dressed in these long flowing robes, essentially. But as you focus, I mean, doesn't come to mind any crews that might be captained or run by such a figure. You kind of
Bai
find
puts his
yourself.
hand.
Yeah, go.
I was gonna say, Bai puts his hand on the shoulder of Barry and is like, "Tell him Seabeard sent us. I think that's one of the main ones."
Seabeard what? Seabeard what?
Seabeard, I believe he's the one.
Oh,
that
the
name
great-
reminds me of like a strong pirate.
the great Captain Seabeard sent us.
Seabeard.
Yeah, no, the guy who's out in the sea and has a very big beard.
That's the name of the guy that's on the ship, right? I just want to
Yeah, Swabby Seabeard. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I got the right one.
Yeah, that was spot on. Behind you, you hear Swabby Seabeard go,
How did you know I was a captain?
looking a bit confused.
Seabeard.
crap. That's why I know that name.
That
Swabby.
name. That name. I can't say it rings any bells. Captain!
As he calls back down the ship.
Captain! You ever heard of a Seabeard sending items to us?
You hear the sound of footsteps echoing through the cave system, and stepping up onto the deck of the ship is an older human man. Short cropped grey beard, large moustache, dressed in this very bizarre looking armor. It almost looks to be made of chitin. I'd probably say for Glubbergar, it looks like this armor has been fashioned from the chitin of a giant crab. Slightly blue tinted, sections of pockmarks and ridges on its surface, giving him this very like crustacean-esque appearance. Draped around his shoulder with a tentacle wrapping itself tightly in place is a large red octopus, just perching on his shoulder like a parrot. And as this figure steps up onto the deck next to the Dragonborn, he squints, looking at you all.
No, I can't say that I've heard of a Captain Seabeard. Well then, Captain Krasim at your service, but it seems you have me at a bit of a disadvantage. Who are you lot? And what are you doing here?
Well, Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Miles kind of like looks at Jackson like, hey, first assistant to the first captain, first mate, do you want to jump in here at any point?
Yes, we are the crew of Captain Keel. Our captain is right up there. I am his first assistant manager, first mate, Jackson.
I was really hoping you'd call your crew the Jackson 5, but that's okay.
I should have.
There's still time.
Oh, the Jackson Dive as well. That works too.
We be the Jackson Dives.
Nice. It's a shame you're not piloting a submarine. That's the best name for a sub I've ever heard. The captain sort of like leans forwards, turns towards his octopus, which raises up a few tentacles and begins moving them around, almost miming out. He nods and then looks back.
Can't see I've heard of you lots. Well, Jackson's Dive. First assistant manager to the captain, you said? Sounds like first mate to me. What are you doing here, and how did you know that we were here? No one should know where our hideout is. Not on any charts, as far as I'm aware.
We were not aware that this was your hideout. We apologize for encroaching on your territory, Savvy.
I'm not sure a verbal apology's enough. You see, we've been on the run from the Marines for some time. And if you lot were to let slip that we're hiding here, might make our lives a wee bit more difficult.
I'll be honest with you, matey. I don't have a foggiest clue who you are, so I don't think we'll be telling anybody who you are and what you're doing here. Not our business. If ships could reverse, we'd be reversing out right now.
Your saccharine words don't fool me. Not falling for your tricks. We're not letting you just reverse out of here.
What if we gave you some limes?
I'm sorry, do you genuinely think that some limes will be enough to let us just let you walk on out of here, knowing what you know now?
Well, if you've been cooped up in here for a while, I imagine all of you are on the brink of scurvy, and some limes could do you a world of good. And I have a bunch of limes all arranged by height.
Make me a persuasion check.
Can I give advantage? Can I give
sure.
advantage to that by going, if you've been here a long time, it looks like the rum might be gone as well. Why is the rum always gone?
Nice, yeah, classic.
I'm just hearing cha-ching dollar signs. This guy's worth a bounty.
It's true.
18 to persuade him to take the limes.
You hear from the docks as one of the other crew members, this older half-elf steps up and goes, Captain, I did lose me big toe the other day. I don't want to lose the others. He sort of looks down, hobbling over.
Silence, you wretch. Aye, we might be in need of some limes. But what's to stop us just taking them from your ship and killing you just the same?
You really think you should take us? We have a great captain, and we're very strong.
I think
And
we
you'd be
could
losing
take...
out on
There you go, no.
you'd be losing out on great musical talent that is about to be signed any day now. Right, Barry?
Was this in the works?
There's also the fact that you've never heard of us. There might be a reason for that, laddie.
That you're insignificant and unknown because of your lack of success?
No, we've never been caught.
Many unknown things have great deals and powers in this world simply because you don't know what they are or who they are or where they are. That denotes nothing.
All right, you've made your peace. Tell you what. Dock on over. We'll come aboard and search your vessel. Take what we fancy. Make sure we leave enough for you to limp your way back to the nearest port. And then you lot can fuck off on out of here. How does that sound?
How about we dock? We'll beat the crap out of you guys and take all your stuff.
And cast Shatter. No, keep going. In the middle of that.
You cast Shatter in the middle of that. Okay.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
as he's just talking shit, just immediate.
Has
Keep talking shit,
the
go
wild
for it.
magic surge gone off yet?
Not yet, but I was going to wait for the first spell to be cast, so that's outstanding. What I'll get each of you to do, click on your
Excellent.
tokens, roll me some initiatives, and I'll have us rock and roll. Beautiful. Oh, this is fun, isn't it?
Oh.
Everything is
can't see
darkness
my
on this
token.
screen.
Yeah.
Zoom out
Oh,
a bit
I have
with the wheel and then move around because you could have loaded in a black spot, maybe.
It's
let
all
me-
black.
Maybe they don't have control of the token. That could be the other thing.
Oh, there were some people who hadn't loaded into the Roll20 yet when I first made the tokens. Let me just quickly. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, oh, yep, that's right. That's
there we go.
easy to fix. Yeah. I can fix
Whoopsie
that.
daisy.
Darkness.
Oh, yeah, there you
I can fix anything.
Let's just adjust that. That's everyone should be able to see stuff now, right?
Yep. I am tactically
Yay!
positioned at the front.
Yay! Alrighty.
Well, that's when you added that one in the same initiative rolls. This is great.
At 20.
Nat 20. Fantastic. Alrighty. Let me also quickly roll initiative. Now, I'll also get you to, if you could roll your shatter spell, and if you could also ping where you're planning to drop it, that would be outstanding.
I'm thinking basically in the middle of these guys, so it's going to hit the whole front portion of the ship and crack it. Because that's where the Dragonborn and the other
Captain,
are, right?
yeah, Captain and the Dragonborn are both standing.
Right on top of them, so it's also hitting their main mast at the front.
Oh, fantastic. Yep, cool. I'll just load for each of the pirates.
And I'm doing 3rd level for that.
Alrighty. Perfect. So the shatter spell is going to go off first. And I'll quickly orient these. Is everyone's initiative and everything correct? Yep, that looks perfect. And I have shortened your name to Glub, just because if I have it as Glub, it takes up the token next to it as well. All right, brilliant. So that's going to be the Wild Magic Surge as well. So, Catalyst, can I get you to also please roll me a D100?
Okay.
So 15 con save. I'll roll for Krasim, First Mate Grieve, and one of the pirate crew.
So as Barry's
the-
talking that stuff, I basically just pulls out his sword, and as he's dragging it across the ground, it starts to resonate, and then flicks out a ball of energy that explodes at that point.
Amazing. Alrighty, so it's a Constitution save. I have rolled the Constitution saves. There was, for the 3 people who are caught, actually 4 people, that other crewmate. It's 10 feet, isn't it? So it's
10
actually just Captain Krasim and First Mate Grieve who are caught in
But
this.
I'm hoping to get the large part of
mast.
the ship as well.
Don't worry, you definitely hit the front of the mast and the bow of the ship. That is a 17 for Captain Krasim, but only a 5 for First Mate Grieve. So Captain Krasim takes the full amount, Captain Krasim takes half, which is 20, half to 10. Grieve takes the full amount, which is 20. The front of the ship, the mast shatters and explodes, the wood chips flying out from all angles. And as the mast slowly tips and collapses into the water, a huge bow wave is sent flying out, spraying water across the decks. Your Wild Magic Surge was 68. Let me pull open the Wild Magic Surge table and let's see what's happened. 68. Okay. Okay. I think this kind of makes sense as well. As you cast this spell, boy, there's this surge of rebound magic that flies out as this force damage explodes. Thunder damage explodes, and the vibrations shatter back along the line of energy that you cast. As this vibration surges through you, I'm going to need you and everyone within 5 feet of you to make a Constitution saving throw, which is Glub, Miles, and Barry.
Is this a charmed or...
No, not a charmed. This is not a charmed at all.
Ooh, 8.
8 is not good.
Eek.
Oh,
No,
yeah, what's
no.
up? Another natural 20.
Hey.
Where are those 21s when I need them?
Where are the 21s when you need them? So we've got a natural 20 for 22 for... We've got an 8 for Miles, 13 for Boy, and 11 for Barry. What's your spell save DC, Boy?
15.
That is going to be then a fail for everyone but for Boy, Barry,
Went a little too ham.
and Miles. As the energy shatters back up, Boy, and activates, the reverberation begins to echo through your bodies. You feel in the hollow spaces of your chest and your lungs almost this like bass energy just echoing in your chests. And as it begins moving up your chests, up your arms, and up towards your face, your teeth begin rattling in your gums, and one by one begin to fall out onto the deck of the ship.
I spit
except
them out.
for
Teeth of a fish.
where the teeth collide with the deck of the ship, a little patch of daisies grows up at each one. Oh.
Oh! What?
That's new.
I know they're too steak again.
Glubbergar can suddenly understand everyone perfectly.
I was like,
Everyone's
no one
finally
can talk
speaking
normally anymore.
proper Lolocat. Local app. Fantastic.
Sure, I'm rubbing off on everybody.
That's what happens. Glub, you're the first one to respond. It is your turn.
I think Glub just kind of makes his way towards the front of the ship and says,
You would dare raise a hand against the holy man of the sea. Let the deeps take you.
To be fair, only Bai has raised a hand against anyone.
Said they were gonna come onto our ship and rob us blind and.
They did.
Well, how do you think
beat
the
us up
teeth
a little.
fell out?
It's true.
Yeah,
It's
I
true.
mean, that's true. I don't know what's up in here. I'm going to, among the pack of them, open a gateway to the dark between the stars, a region
yeah.
infested with unknown horrors, a void filled with a cacophony of soft whispers and slurping noises that can be heard up to 30 feet away. No light, magical or otherwise, can illuminate the area. Creatures fully within the area are blind as I cast Hunger of Hadar on the center of the ship.
Amazing. I will put down a little spot of darkness, and I will give it a little zone around it so you can see it really clearly.
And they,
Alrighty. It's 20, anything within 20 feet, correct?
yeah. So it's all 5 of them there on that boat.
Yeah.
Any
And,
creature that
and
starts in the area
Yeah.
takes damage, and that ends
fantastic.
must make a dex save or take damage as milky, otherworldly tentacles rub against it.
Begin to, like,
Yeah, I
slowly
just
caress them.
imagine this blackness starts coming up as all of these like tentacles and lobster claws start just emerging out of the sea and wrapping around the boat, the mast in the center, pulling towards like the small rowboats and stuff off the edges of it, doing as much damage to the ship as it can alongside of everyone within the area.
Yeah. You described soft slurping noises. Can you give us a bit of ASMR? What do those soft slurping noises sound like?
Yeah, I mean, well, a lot of these tentacles are just covered in mouths, right? So it's a bit of a wailing, like.
That is relaxing. I like that. It's good. You're
Yeah,
getting the
yeah,
tingles.
it's soothing.
Um,
The tingles, yeah.
Yeah, the tingles. Unfortunately for the pirate crew being very close to this, the tingles are more of stripping of flesh from bone. As these tentacles begin to tear into them, essentially. Perfect. On the start of their turns, they'll roll some effects that take some damage, potentially. I'd say Hunger for Dark, one of my favorite spells. Alrighty. Anything else on your turn?
No, I don't think so. I'll roll the damage for that now, so you got it.
Yes, thank you very much. As you feel the hunger of Hadar. Outstanding. 10 total damage. That is so good.
It puts that out weirdly. It's 6 damage, but then another 4 if they fail a dex save at the end of their turn.
Oh, easy. That's easy enough to do. That's fine.
weird.
That's easy enough to do. If you hover over it, it splits it up to the 6 and the 4, so that's easy to see. No problem at all. Perfect. I've split the pirate crew into different numbers just to make my life really easy. So pirate crew number 1, so that I could deal with them in halves. The first group of the pirate crew, those who are inside the zone of Hunger of Hadar need to make a quick dex save. Oh no, they just start their turn. So no, sorry, they just take the 6, don't they? Because they start their turn in it. Yep. Yep, perfect. 6 damage, no problem at all. 2d6. I think isn't it 2d6 cold damage?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I see. Yeah, you're right. I see where it split it. That's so funny. Yeah,
I just rolled really badly.
Yeah, no, that's all good. 6 cold damage as the darkness begins to chill them from the inside out. Then the ones who are blinded and can't really see what they're doing are going to roll a d8 to see which direction they run in, essentially, to try and get out of this effect. The first one's going to run south, 5, 10, 15. You watch as from the darkness, stumbling as the tentacles still wrap around him, trying to pull him back into the darkness. One of the half-orcs stumbles out from inside the darkness, panting and gasping for breath. The other one, you hear a soft splash and nothing else. And then the ones who are on the side of the port also begin to rush up a little bit closer to you, moving through and down the docks. All righty. There are only 2 of them who are within range and can see you, and they're both going to make attacks. They pull out these massive, heavy crossbows, lower them, and send off these 2 bolts into the group. Each of them is going to make an attack against each of you. Okay. Jackson, does a 22 hit you?
It does indeed.
Glub, does an 11 hit you?
It does not.
Barry, does a 22 hit you?
It does.
And Miles, does a natural 1 hit you? No, it does not. Don't even worry.
Not a
fantastic.
tank, but I can tank that.
Exactly right. Alrighty, everyone who got hit, that's going to be only 7 points of damage. I rolled, wow, shockingly bad on that. Only 7 points of piercing damage as these crossbow bolts fly out from the darkness as the 2 pirates rush forward and take their shots. At the end of their goes, they then move to sort of duck behind various bits of cover that they can see. One of them behind a broken rowboat, one of them back towards a series of boxes. The way we'll do cover is if you're hiding behind something, you get a +2 to AC, rather than doing the advantage-disadvantage, because that can be super punishing. I find it easier to just do an AC bonus. And then for flanking, if you manage to get on the other side of someone, you get a +2 to attack, just to make life really easy. That's the pirate crew all finished. First mate Grieve on the deck of the ship. He's in the darkness, so I better roll to see... Oh, sorry, he takes 6 damage first off. And then he is going to roll to see if he can jump out of the darkness. You watch as first mate Grieve just drops out of the darkness off the edge of the ship and into the water towards the west as he just essentially throws himself overboard. He swims towards the edge of the outcropping of rock, and then looking back at you lot, just shakes his head. You shouldn't have done that. And he is going to throw up a fairy fire onto the deck of the ship. Could I please have all of you roll me a dexterity saving throw? $16 is a pass for Glubbergogger.
Oh.
18 is a pass for Barry. Natural 20 is a pass for Miles. 17 is a pass for boy. Oh my god, amazing. Only Jackson with the 9. I kind of like the idea of Jackson standing at the front of the ship, sort of proudly pretending to be captain. As this wave of light begins to fly across, you just sort of stand there being like, sort of blinded as it flies across you. This particulate matter sort of settling on your body, casting this very soft light across your clothes and skin as you are under the effect of fairy fire. I will quickly mark you with a beautiful little token image. Let's use this one for fairy fire. I
just think it's one of those things to sort of like accentuate my features. I'm like, haha, I'm the captain. Shing.
I have that good captain glow about me. Perfect. First Mate Grieve ends his turn. Rather appropriately, Jackson, it is your go next.
I don't appreciate being lit up like a lantern, so I'm going to move over to the edge of the boat. I'm going to see him climb out of the water and shine all kinds of lights on me. As my bonus action, I'm going to use Planar Warrior on him, which means all my damage to him when I hit him next will be force damage, and then I'm going to take a shot at him.
Brilliant. Roll me those good dice.
Excuse me one moment, I am on laptop.
I'm on a laptop.
This is sharpshooter, so -5. Oh, God. That's an 8 to hit.
8. The arrow just flies and then clatters off the wall of the cave, dropping down to the cave floor.
I shall shoot him again.
I shall shoot him again.
That's an 11 to hit.
Clatters off against the cave wall. This time, as it drops down into a small puddle.
Bonus action, shoot him again.
Shoot him again.
That's a 13 to hit.
13. Clatters off the cave wall into a puddle.
Maybe I should stop using sharpshooter. That's the end of my turn.
Perfect. Miles, it is your go next.
Okay, I think I will shoot someone.
Yeah, shoot them all.
So look, from the map it looks like First Mate Grooves is actually making quite an appetizing target for me.
Yeah, he's pretty close, standing at the edge of the rocky outcropping where their boat is moored to. He's really close. Only, what, is that 30 feet away? Yeah.
Checking if I can, because technically I can use sneak attack. And we shall
The typical thing, if you need to, is to hide first and then sneak attack, and you can just keep repeating that if you're not having an ally or any other thing.
Yeah, I was just looking at it because I get to use extra sneak attack. I have special sneak attack.
Oh.
What is that? If I have advantage on the attack roll, need advantage of another. Okay. Yeah. Can I sneak up and hide at the side of the ship and then shoot it with my sneak attack?
Yeah, you can duck and roll underneath the lip of the. Yeah, do you want to make me a stealth check? Let's see if you can see how successfully you can hide. As you just sort of like a barrel, do a little stealth roll, and hide behind the railing. Yeah, duck and roll, exactly.
It's 11. Oh no, sorry, that was sleight of hand, not stealth.
It's probably plus the same amount, I imagine, for stealth. That was +7, so you rolled a 4. That's a natural 1 on your second roll. I think Roll20 is trying to give us a message.
No sneaky.
Only because it's funny. I'm going to take the natural 1. Karen, as Miles does a roll up to the prow of the ship, you just roll between the railings and drop off into the water. So you roll up. There's this sploosh as you land in the water.
How deep is this water?
The water drops away into an abyss deep below you.
Right. I scream like a little girl.
All you hear on the surface is under the water. You still got movement. If you wanted to swim towards the shore, you can clamber up onto the rocks. You've only used 10 feet of your movement.
Yeah, I absolutely want to swim to shore.
Perfect. I'd say that's probably so bonus action hide, dropping into the water. The rest of your movement to clamber up onto the side of the shore. You still have your action if you would like to use it.
Oh,
I'm hearing a
torn. Yeah. Okay, I'll clamber up and shoot the first mate anyway.
Just dripping wet. Pull out your crossbow,
Hey, you.
take a shot.
Screw you. Watch me miss now. 15?
15 is the DC. Very
Good.
nice. As you shoot, roll me some damage.
Okay,
17 damage. Is that right?
No, that includes sneak attack, so you have to take away 12 because it's not a sneak attack.
oh yeah. Sorry, it auto applied my sneak attack.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so just 5 damage. That's saying still everything counts. As the arrow slams into the thigh of the Dragonborn, he lets out this grunt.
I'll be coming for you next, elf.
Concentration check.
Ah, yeah, Fairy Fire, thank you very much. DC is 10.
Only because it's affected me.
No, absolutely. That
The
is a
rules,
13.
they be
He's
more like
fine.
guidelines.
Exactly. No, that's a 13. He's fine for the concentration check. Brilliant. Anything else on your turn, Miles?
I would like to hide behind this boat. It looks like there's a broken boat.
There's a broken rowboat. Not so much hide, but you can use the last remaining moments of your movement because you used your bonus action before to try and hide.
Yeah,
That's what propelled you off the ship. So I would say you can sort of stand with the boat sort of at your back, kind of taking a moment to get your breath back.
This is why we got to swab
Perfect.
the ship properly. You don't want to slip.
Exactly. You do not want to slip off the ship.
Captain Krasim's next.
Captain Krasim is going to also try and move to get out of the darkness. He takes 6 cold damage at the start of his turn anyway,
Yes, sir.
as a result of the Hunger of Hadar. Perfect. Okay. You watch as basically flying out of the darkness, having taken a running jump, Captain Krasim slams down onto the edge of the dock, just keeping his footing as the octopus around his neck drops off into the water. As he stands there, sort of sways a little bit, turns around and looks up at the ship, particularly at you, Glub. And he watches, he reaches into a holster and pulls out this large blunderbuss.
I don't take kindly to being kept in the dark.
And he lowers it and takes a shot. Does a 16 hit you, Glub?
It does.
That is going to be...
Um,
Oh, yeah?
Hold on. He's within 60 feet of me, right?
He is within 60 feet of you, yes.
I'm really sorry, Owen. I'm going to start using the silvery barbs.
I should have banned Silvery Barbs.
Oh
It
yes,
is
that's
the
right. I have that too. That's a good
worst
idea.
fucking cantrip in the game.
That's a first
I was
level.
planning
That's
not
first
to
level.
use it, but
Oh, what's the one I'm
that's a
thinking of?
pretty
Not
big
Silvery
hit.
Barbs. Yeah, no, absolutely. Alrighty, so as a reaction, creature succeeds on an attack roll. No problems at all. You distract it, so I must re-roll the d20 and use the smaller value. I will do that right now.
Okay.
That's
As he's
going
getting the
to
blunderbuss
be-
ready, I'm just like, what was that you were saying?
Yeah.
Can't hear you.
That is going to be a 15. Does that hit you, Glub?
That is the AC, yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
Good try,
Alrighty.
good try.
As the shot goes off, it's just not enough to prevent this brutal attack. That is going to be... Yep.
I am going to give Jackson, though, the advantage.
Alrighty. Easy done. Glub, that is going to be 10 points of piercing damage as the shot from this blunderbuss slams into you. I also need you to make me a constitution saving throw, as this bullet seems to have been hollowed out and filled with some strange concoction that burns in your veins as it strikes you.
Poison?
Yeah, looks like it. Does poison affect you as a Lolakath?
It does, but I have advantage on it.
Fantastic, then you have advantage on this constitution save.
12.
You have advantage, don't you? Oh, is that with that's with the advantage? 12.
with advantage.
Let me double check.
I'm also going to roll for concentration.
Oh, it's just not the DC. I'm so sorry.
Inspiration.
You do have inspiration.
What I do have is a class feature that allows me to add 1d4 to... No, only ability checks. Yeah, I'll
Oh,
take the poison.
damn. Okay. So, 10 points of the piercing damage, and the poison is going to be 8 points of poison damage.
Oof.
And what was your constitution save? Concentration check?
I rolled an 11 against the 10.
Yep. We will separate them because the poison is different. So yeah, I'll get another 19.
And then
Pass
a 19.
both. The hunger of Hadar stays up as the captain just essentially turns this gun towards you and shoots you.
35 feet, god damn.
The captain then takes his second shot at Boy for daring to interfere with his initial attack.
Oh no, my reactions! It's okay,
Boy
mage armor. So.
does that's a 19. I'm guessing that probably hits.
I will use silvery barbs.
The Goblin Boys!
I will roll again.
But I think your AC is pretty low, isn't it?
Uh,
17.
17? That's a 16 for the second, so that does not hit.
Done. Dunsies. And
As
I'll
you-
give my advantage to Miles.
Fantastic. Alrighty. As that goes off, that is the end of the captain's go. Captain Krasim. It is Boy's go next.
Alright. I'm going to have my crossbow at the ready, and I'm going to do a Mind Sliver. So there's two guys sitting, just for those at home, sitting behind where the captain is, sitting near the shore. I'm
Far
going to
over on
Mind
the dock.
Sliver. Yeah, over on the dock. The one that's closest to me, I guess.
Yeah.
So he has to make a DC 15 int save.
Do that right now. That is the one that's closest to you. So yeah, that is this one here. That is a... Oh, shit. That's a 19. They get +0 to that roll. That's just a flat 19.
That's fine, so he doesn't take any damage. That's all right. And I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Melf's Minute Meteors. And at the same time, I'm checking at him. 2 of those meteors when I cast that, so only 3 damage for a DC 15 for the 2 of them.
No problems at all. Let me just quickly pull open. I just want to double check. Mind Sliver. That's an action. Is Melf's a bonus action?
Yep. I create the meteors as a... Oh, hold on. Isn't it?
I'm not sure it is.
Oh, it's a bonus action to use after, not to create.
After casting, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's an initial action to cast it the first time.
Yeah, no, you caught me on that. I didn't read fully. That is okay. I will... just see if there's a better bonus action thing to use. Nope, I will get my... No, I can't use my blade song because that will... Yeah, I'll just shoot one of them with a crossbow.
And you shoot as a bonus action.
I shoot as a second part of my attack action, and I can cantrip as the first part. Blade Singer.
Very nice. 22 for the nearest one to you?
Yeah.
Fantastic. 22 definitely hits. Roll me some damage.
Alright. 6 damage.
Damagios. Very nice.
And I'll duck behind one of these things. Oh, bonus action hide. Goblin.
You've got Goblin, yeah, the nimble escape. So you can duck
and
behind.
That guy is considered medium or larger?
Yes, all of these would be considered medium. All of
He'll
these
take
enemies,
another
all the
3
pirates.
damage.
Fury of the Small.
Fury of the Small. You're definitely gonna die. You should die. Why not die already?
Brilliant. Barry, it is your go next.
And myself.
Yes.
Only a 10.
Barry is like, oh, well, we forgot what we were supposed to bring from Captain Seabeard. And Barry opens up his bag, pulls out a box, and he pretends to open something from it and gives him the finger from behind the box. And that's vicious mockery.
Who would you like to do? Yep.
The captain? Yeah, the captain.
Captain Krasim?
Does that work for both attacks, or is it just one of his attacks?
Vicious Mockery. You have advantage on the next attack.
Okay, so he'll make his second attack normally. Okay, yep. And that's 2d8 damage, so 2d8 damage. I'll cast.
Perfect. I better make it's a wisdom save for Vicious Mockery, correct?
Yep. 16.
Perfect. Ooh. Captain's not super wise.
Doesn't look it. He doesn't look it.
15.
Yep, doesn't save.
Perfect. So he takes 5 psychic damagios.
Yep.
5. And you have advantage on the next attack. Oh no, sorry, he has a disadvantage on the next attack
Yep.
with Vicious Mockery. Yeah, his next attack has disadvantage. Very nice. Anything else, Barry?
Yes. How far is my movement? My movement is
Be 30 feet for a goblin, I
30
think.
feet. Okay. Can I make it to the shore? Oh yeah, I can cover a lot of distance. Is swim speed half walking speed? I assume.
Yes, it is. Unless you have a specific swim speed.
No. Okay. Can Barry jump off the left side of the ship, also
Yep.
known as the port side? I learned that.
Port
today.
side, I think, is the port side. Left is port.
Like, can he make that jump from the ship to like next to Miles without having to worry
Yeah.
about water?
Absolutely, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
okay.
only that's 10 feet away. So if you did a running jump, I'll get you to
Yep.
make a acrobatics check or an athletics check, your choice. But yeah, you'll probably be able to jump that, no problems.
Okay. Acrobatics.
Say, watch as he rolls a natural 1 now.
Like, then we decide this side of the ship is cursed and no one jump off it.
Dirty 20.
No
He
problems.
does a somersault while he's jumping to land very gracefully next to Miles.
Yes, he does.
And then there's a bit of a shipwreck over here that I can see on the map. And
Yeah,
he'll just bonus
broken-
action hide.
Yeah, it's a little broken dinghy there.
Perfect.
Perfectamundo. Alrighty. Last,
21.
bringing up the rear with a the initiative of 1. The rest of the pirates. One of them who is inside the zone of cold takes 6 damage. I'll roll to see which direction he walks. He's going to walk further into the cold. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 as he continues to move through the cold, unable to find his way out of the dark. I will roll his dex save. He would probably try and dash in that case. I'll roll another d8, see if he can get out of it. Okay, that's going to be north, west. 5, 10, 15, 20. As he stumbles out of the darkness, having used his entire action and movement to get out of that. He throws up a bit as one of the tentacles just lets go of his leg and slowly slithers back into the dark and the cold. Let's have a quick look. So the 2 other pirates. One of the pirates who's down on the docks behind the captain is going to rush up with the captain. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, up towards the captain. As he stands next to the captain, he looks over at the deck of the ship, concentrates for a moment, and then is going to cast Melf's Acid Arrow. This is going to be targeted at probably Jackson is in the very center there. So as he casts Melf's Acid Arrow, does a... Actually, I'm going to roll for this. Josh, can you roll me a d6? See who it targets.
Oh, you certainly can.
That's what I like to do when I don't want to take responsibility for targeting players. I let the players do it themselves. None of my business.
That's a 2.
2. That's going to actually be Boy. Then can you make me another d6 roll, please?
Boy was stealth check of 9 as well from his perception high.
Yeah, I imagine it's past the perception that was above a 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm making, sorry, a what roll?
You don't need to make anything. That is going to be an attack roll from the pirate. And that's a... Can you roll 1 more d6 for me, Josh, when you get a chance as well for the second one, as the next pirate crew is going to do the same thing.
Oh, you can indeed.
The first attack. So, Boy, that is going to be it's a 21 to hit.
So I'm gaining additional AC from being near the...
Yeah,
like,
plus
yeah,
2.
plus 2. In that case, I'm going to shield.
Alrighty. As you use your reactions, you push up this force, this energy around you that blocks the acid splashes against it, and immediately fails. On a miss, it actually hits for half as much initial damage and no damage at the end of your turn. So that is going to be... Wow. I rolled 4d4. 3 of the 4s were a 1, and 1 was a 2. So that's only going to be 5 points of damage. That is almost the lowest you can roll for Melf's Acid Arrow.
That's not too bad.
Unbelievable.
I was debating on burning a counterspell on that.
It's up to you. Your choice.
No, that's why I use shield. How much damage total then?
5 total damage, acid damage, if that has any impact on you.
And that's cut in half.
No. That's the 5 is that's halved.
Is it half? Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, I want to make sure.
Alrighty. The second pirate mage is going to rush up. He is within
I rolled a 5 on my d6.
5. Okay, perfect. That is going to be you. Sorry, Jackson. You are within 70.
Bugger.
Oh, bugger. You are within 70 feet of this. That's probably just out of range. Yeah, he's not happy with you. This pirate is actually not going to use his action. Instead, he's going to rush up a little bit further, use his action to dash. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then he is going to bonus action Misty Step onto the prow of the ship right next to you, Jackson, as he and then appears next to you using his bonus action. As he leers down towards you, this scarred half-elven face. Looks like you wandered into the wrong cave, mate. As he stares down at you. And that's his full go. Glub, top of the round.
Ooh, let's see old Glubby. Glub is going to move just a little bit closer up to the edge of the ship, I think.
Yeah.
So he was slightly more in range of everybody. There, if I'm allowed, on the very edge.
Yeah, you're allowed up to the edge, absolutely.
You regret turning against us.
And from underneath the captain, a proper, real, non-spectral tentacle is going to emerge out of the water as I summon a 10-foot-long tentacle, and which immediately makes an attack against him.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's not the hit.
Tentacle of the deeps.
Did that roll across?
4,
14 to hit?
14 against the pirate captain. Just not enough, I'm sorry to say. I say just enough. It's not quite enough.
It's not quite enough.
It's not quite enough.
Then I am also going to, for my regular action, cast Toll the Dead on him. So Wisdom 14 save.
Very nice indeed.
As he hits his trident against the ground, and this deep, unlike the regular kind of gonging of the bell of this spell, it's more of the feeling of a loud noise underwater that kind of like physically ripples and hits across you, this muted bell noise from deep below.
That is a 12 on his wisdom save. I'm guessing that's a fail.
That is a fail, which means he takes... And he's missing HP?
He is missing HP.
Yes. 2d12.
Nice.
7 damage.
Necrotic damage.
Careful
Brilliant.
rolls.
That is awesome. As that gong sounds out, Captain throws up his hands trying to cover his ears, but it's not enough. And as that reverberates through him, he lets out this soundless scream.
And I'm going to maintain concentration on the Hunger of Hadar to just, like, do as much damage to their ship as possible. And I guess, like, the one guy who's still inside of it.
Yeah, I will add, at the moment, you can't see the ship inside the Hunger of Hadar, but you watch as one of the masts cracks and falls into the darkness, disappearing from view. You get the sense this is not good for their ship.
That's my turn.
Pirate crew. The first pirate crew, the one who tried to throw himself off the deck of the ship, he's going to take some cold damage because he is still within range of this thing. Would you like to roll me your cold damage again, as it is a new round, and we'll do that. Do them as separate.
I roll
6 cold damage. Hey,
6.
keep it consistent. Brilliant. As he takes more damage, he is then going to move in a random direction once again. The most inefficient possible way he could move. You watch as he like emerges underneath the dock, under the captain, like pulling himself up, gasping for air, like coughing and spluttering as the half-orc pulls himself up, having just taken quite a bit of cold damage. Sections of ice and frostbite mark his skin, and he looks like he has suffered quite greatly at the hands of this particular effect. He pulls himself onto the rowboat. The pirate crew member who is closest to Barry and Miles is going to vault onto the rowboat, jump across it, jump down next to you, and attempt to strike both of you as he pulls out a sword.
Does he know I'm there? Because I got a 21 on the stealth.
Oh, that's a good question. I will roll a perception check. Let's see if he knows you are there. He does not know you are there. Miles, both of these attacks are coming for you then in that case, as he vaults over and tries to strike down. Sorry, mate.
He has, however,
played
foolishly
like
put him within 5 foot of another enemy, though, so...
That's true. That is a 7 for the first hit. I'm guessing that doesn't hit you, Miles.
No, that does not hit.
Can't fucking hit you, Karen. What's going on? Oh, don't worry. The second one's better. That's a natural 20. Never mind. I spoke.
I haven't used my reaction this round yet, so I will silvery barbs again.
Gotta rob
Right.
those crits.
That's okay. I'm okay with that because you guys are burning 3 spell slots at a rapid pace.
Mhm.
Who says this is the final boss? Alrighty. Yeah, silvery barbs it. I have to roll that again. This time with disadvantage. Oh no, sorry. Sorry, I just roll again, but it's take the second roll. That is going to be. That's a 16 to hit, Miles.
Crap. Yeah, that hits.
That's not a crit.
Not a crit. It's not a crit. That's
though.
true.
Not a crit.
Alrighty, Miles. And seeing as this was 2 attacks, you're only taking 9 slashing damage from this. I am rolling so poorly. As the longsword comes down and strikes into you, Miles, it cuts through part of your armor, gouging a deep gash through your upper arm and down slightly onto your chest. The pirate just jeers and leers at you. You're gonna suffer, boy. The other pirate crew members, seeing as they're still a little... What was that?
But I'm boy. Swinging the other end of the ship.
As the other pirates who are a little bit further away are going to have to resort to ranged attacks, they maintain their crossbows out and make 2 ranged attacks. One is going to be against Glub, and one is going to be against... It's going to have to be against Boy, just because Boy is the only one, because Glub's kind of standing in the way of Jackson right now. Glub, does a 16 hit you?
It does.
Boy, does a 17 hit you?
It's less than a 24, so we're good.
Yeah, still have your shield up.
Shield is still up. Glub, that is going to be... Oh my god, what are these rolls? 5 slashing damage, Glub.
Which one hits me?
Does a 16 hit you?
No, I mean, it's important on how far away they are from me.
Oh, the one that's closest. Yeah, sorry. The one that's within, he's the one that's on the rowboat. He's within, is that 30 feet? 30 feet of you.
Okay, I'm gonna use the Guardians. No, sorry. I'm gonna use Rebuke of the Talisman
Nice.
as my reaction, which does.
Yep.
He just takes 3 psychic damage and goes flying backwards 10 feet, hopefully into the water.
Yeah, 5, 10. Yeah, he drops between the dinghy and the dock, just dropping down with this wordless cry into the briny deeps once again. Fantastic. All right, next up is first mate Grieve. Grieve is not liking this. I will roll a perception check to see if Grieve has seen Harry. No, sorry, Barry.
Barry, yep.
I made that mistake as well. No, he doesn't see Barry. Grieve also doesn't like that you guys are all clustering onto the deck. One of his crew members is there. Karen. Hello. Could
Hi.
you roll me a D100, please?
Oh. That is a 46.
Yeah, Grieve's gonna take a few steps back, drop the concentration on the fairy fire, and drop a fireball on the deck of your ship.
Ah,
Sorry.
Counter.
Sorry?
used. My reaction's used.
Oh no, wait, my reaction is used.
Your reaction's
no.
used. Barry's reaction is used. Anyone got any
Not
reactions?
the
Now's the time to shout out.
Want to prevent that.
Absorb elements.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear. That is going
take care
to
of
be
yourself.
that is going to be a dexterity saving throw, please, from everyone at the prow of the ship.
18.
Alrighty. We have 18 from
Oh.
Glub, 13 from Boy, and 12 from Jackson. I also have to roll for the pirate crew member who First Mate Grieve is actually sacrificing as part of this.
What a dick.
Yeah, what a dick. That's a 10. He's taking full damage as well, so don't worry. People are going down with you for this. So everyone who failed, that is going to be 33 points of fire damage, halved if you passed to 16. Jackson, you halve it with your absorb elements anyway.
I'm still up. We're good. I got like 6 HP.
What was the save DC?
The save DC was 14.
I just failed.
I have healing word, but I won't be if I keep burning through my spell slots.
As the deck of the ship begins to catch alight, you watch as Swabby and Bob begin to rush forward trying to put out the fire. Swabby sort of like smiling apologetically to you guys at the front, being like, "Oh, I'm not very good in a scrape. Sorry, boys," as he begins putting out the fire on the deck of the ship instead of actually helping with this combat. At the back of the ship, though, you notice Keel is concentrating on some spell. You are not sure what yet. That is Greaves' full go. Jackson.
Is this pirate guy in front of me still up, or is he been incinerated?
He is barely up. His flesh is charred and scorched. He is not looking like he's having a good time.
Definitely, you have advantage as well from Bai's silver dogs.
Yes.
Oh, indeed, thank you. I'm going to jump up on the top of the ship like everybody else.
Yep.
I'm going to stick my middle finger up onto him, and then I'm going to moonwalk off the ship, flying because I have winged boots.
So where are you sticking your middle finger?
Up, like that, just at him.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm gonna go 20 feet across.
Yep.
No, 15 feet across and 20 foot in the air, because I've got 35 foot movement.
Brilliant.
I'm flying, and then I'm going to take a shot with advantage.
Yeah, if it would be if he hadn't used his reaction to also do absorb elements to avoid being killed by that. Unfortunately. So he has no reaction left.
So I'm going to attack this guy with sharpshooter. The captain, sorry.
Yeah, you love your sharpshooter.
I do love sharpshooter.
So
that
why
is
not?
15 to hit.
15 is the DC.
Right,
Or the
I'm
AC,
going
I
to
should
activate.
Yeah.
I'm going to activate my favoured foe, so it's going to be an extra d6 of damage. So I'll roll that first because I want it.
Yep.
So that's a 6, and then out the way everything, please. 6 plus 8 is 14, 24 points of piercing damage to him. So the captain.
Amazing. As the arrow flies through, piercing into his chest, you hear it cut through into a lung as he lets out this, trying to breathe in.
I'm going to attack him again with sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
You just got to. That's a 9 to hit.
That is not enough, I'm sorry to say.
That's fine. Bonus action, same thing again.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a 13 to hit.
13 is just, again, not quite enough as the arrow flies past and lands on the port, hammering into the wood with this doom, vibrating slightly.
I'll get you in a minute, matey. And then that's my turn.
Alrighty. Miles, it is your go next.
Right. Rapier, sneak attack on the dude who's right in front of me.
Yeah, it's time to take this man out, Karen. No dinner and a movie first. You are just taking him out now.
17.
17 hits. Yes, it does. Yeah, absolutely. 17 hits.
Lots of lovely dices and only 10 points of damage.
But you do get the sneak attack. You do get the sneak attack because you have melee within 5. So 18 total damage.
And I can offhand attack him with my dagger. So assuming he's still alive.
He's just up.
Is a 12 gonna hit?
This is one of the... Yeah, this is one... Yes, it does hit this one. Unfortunately.
Squishy boy.
He's one of the... Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's putting my sneak attack on everything. I only get it once per
That's okay.
turn.
We can just... Because it's... We can just take the 8. That's fine. And then ignore the... Because it does it just above as well, so you can see it separated. So if it's an offhand, I think we take off... Is it the proficiency we take off as well? Or is it just the...
Yeah, I don't get the plus on damage.
The
so it's
modifier.
Just 4.
Yeah, so it's just the 4 damage. Perfect. Hey, Miles. How you want to do this?
I think I'm going to stab him in the guts with the rapier, and then in the neck with the dagger.
Oh my god, yes. As
And,
the rapier goes through.
I flip him into the
Please
water.
Oh, fantastic. You just watch as this just stab through this as he's winded by the first rapier, and then as you stab across, and then you just throw your arms backwards. He tumbles against the rock and then just drops soundlessly into the deep waters beyond, disappearing from view.
Death. Cool.
Anything else on your turn? Any movement?
No, I will hide behind the boat with my
Perfect.
good friend.
Again, unfortunately, you
Bazza.
can't properly bonus action hide, but you can stand there with Barry once again, having used your offhand. But that's okay. That's okay. You can stand with Barry. Hashtag stand with Barry. Captain Krasim. Captain Krasim is not liking any of this. He's pissed off at all of you. He is unhappy. There is someone floating in the air next to him. Sort of not next to him, but floating in the air right in front of him. Does seem like an easy target. Captain Krasim sort of calls out, "You lot come in here. Attack my vessel. Kill my crew. I won't be having it." And he's going to make a shot with his poisonous pistol once again. His poison shot. Jackson, does a 10 hit you?
It does not.
Yeah, what about a 14? Does that hit you?
It doesn't, unfortunately,
Yeah.
no.
Okay, both shots just...
Yep.
Pew, pew.
Was that with
Krasim.
disadvantage? It's going to have been even worse if you missed by even more.
Yeah, he sort of looks down at his pistol, kind of confused, turns around, pushes one of the crew in front of him, and then walks back down the dock. Get him, boys! He looks down at his pistol, a bit confused why it's not working. Boy, it is your turn.
All right. He's going to get up, smack the rapier on the ground to get it vibrating as he enters his blade song. And he's going to charge forward to leap to face off against our first mate, Grav, the
first mate
Dragonborn.
Grieve.
As he runs by the other caster that was there, he's going to make one quick rapier slash at them.
Earlier I didn't actually say because we moved on too quickly. When I did silvery barbs, I wanted to give Bai my advantage.
Perfect.
Yep.
Miles has the advantage. Oh no, bye?
No, but both of them do because I've used it twice. The
How long
second
does it
time.
last for? Does the
1
advantage
minute.
last for a round?
1 minute.
1 minute. This seriously, Silvery Barbs is broken. Ashes, I need to fix this. I will homebrew this spell and fix it.
Do I have to use it on my next attack, or do I get to choose when to use it?
I believe
get
it was
to
next.
Yeah, I think it is next attack. I was going to say, I think you have to use it. Yeah, the chosen creature has advantage on the next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw it makes within 1 minute.
So this rapier hit has advantage, and we forgot to use it for Miles. So I don't know if you want to say that. Yeah.
I killed him anyway.
Do you want to roll to see if it was a crit just for fun?
Yeah, that's what I'm just checking here. Oh, for Miles, yeah.
Yeah, for Miles. So that's a 15. That definitely hits. Roll me some damage.
Okay. That's just the normal. So 12 piercing as he runs by, stab, and
Perfect.
leaps down to here.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he does not have a reaction because he used it to avoid being set on fire.
And he's still up? Ah, damn.
Oh no! After that, the 12 piercing damage, he's not. I was going to see. It doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, it's a good point. Doesn't matter. You just stab him through the chest, and he just drops soundlessly off the deck of the ship, disappearing into the water.
Nice.
Perfect. And
Oh, thank you
as
so
I land next to our Dragonborn that we're fighting, I'm going to Booming Blade him. So first for the hit, 23 hits, I'm assuming.
23 hits.
So he's going to take a deep. Whoa, sorry, it did the whole thing. Ignore. Well, I guess the damage technically works.
Double check.
'cause it's-
Just double check. I'm not sure if you can do a booming blade as part of an attack or if it's a separate attack. I think.
Booming Blade for bonus action. It affects on the attack, doesn't it?
So
it is
Booming
true,
Blade
yeah,
is
yeah,
actually an
apologies.
attack,
Yeah.
but I'm a blade singer, so yeah. So let's see. Hold on. Did I roll damage with Booming Blade? Ah, yeah, I did. 23 to hit for the Moon Touch Rapier, 12 piercing damage on the initial. Oh, 12? and then
It's
5 on
damage.
top of that.
Are
So
you very sure that you can cast cantrips and make attacks? 'Cause I'm not sure you.
As
that's
as a blade
specifically
singer,
what
yeah.
blade singers are.
Oh, that's what it's all about.
Blade
Go
singers
for
are.
it then.
Yeah.
They're specifically that you cast a cantrip as one of your attack actions.
All right, perfect. I was just looking on D&D Beyond and it's not obvious. Which, message back.
No, that's no
to
worries.
Wizards of the
6th
Coast.
level feature. So 17 total damage. 5 of that is thunder, if that matters. And
it doesn't,
if
but
he
that's okay.
moves- And if he moves at all, he takes an additional 8.
It doesn't matter. That is enough. He had already taken 30 damage total, plus
perfect.
another 17. That takes him over the limits. How do you want to do this, boy?
As he stabs the one, he's going to twist and leap through the air and just land straight down on top of him with the rapier, and look back to Barry and be like, 1 down, 2 more to go. Or, nope, 1 more to go for Captain.
You hear this gurgle from beneath you as the Dragonborn collapses beneath your tiny goblin form, just dropping, unable to move and unable to attack anymore.
And since I still have 35 feet of movement, let me just see. There. Yep, I still have enough movement left. I am going to hide, but not really, because I used my bonus action.
Yeah, just sort of
In the
wander over
direction.
to Miles and Boy. Yeah. Alrighty.
Just get under it so I'm out of vision.
You're not out of vision, unfortunately. You're in the. If you dive underneath the broken rowboat, you're underwater because it is like collapsed against the thing. But you can sort of like get behind it with Barry and Miles. That's not a problem. Barry, you're up next.
Barry has been waiting for this the whole time. Now that people have moved around, Barry is going to use a spell called Enemies Abound.
Yeah, I love this spell.
Concentration. And he's going to use it. How intelligent does the captain look? He doesn't look like a well-educated young lad, does he?
Make me an insight check, and we'll see if you can figure that out.
That is a 12, unfortunately.
As you look at the captain, I mean, hard to say just based purely on his appearance, but I mean, given that he's been able to set up a secret hideout in a lair, he's probably not unintelligent.
And there's a pirate guy standing right next to him, right?
There is, yeah, one of the pirates.
Yeah, I assume they don't look very intelligent.
They don't look very intelligent.
You know what? Since we're aiming to kill the captain, I will cast it on the pirate crew member who's furthest away from us, on the other side of the captain.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
I make a wisdom save, I believe, isn't it?
Yep, DC 16 on intelligence. Sorry, intelligence.
Intelligence, yep.
Yeah.
That is a 6. I am
That
guessing
is a
that
fail.
fails.
Yep.
Alrighty. Let me quickly adjust that. I'll give him a little madness symbol and talk me through enemies bound. So that means I think he cannot perceive friend from foe, and he uses his action to.
Yeah, he just treats everyone as an enemy.
Yeah, doesn't know who's his friend, who's his enemies. He just goes.
I believe
and
every
he's
time he
frightened
takes
too.
damage, he re-rolls the intelligence save.
Yeah. Regards all creatures as enemies. Every time he takes damage, he repeats the saving throw. Perfect.
And he
Very
also
nice,
has to
Barry.
use his opportunity attack on people as well. So.
Yeah, anyone moving out of his range. Absolutely. Very nice, Barry.
Yep.
Anything
Barry
else
will
on your
then
turn?
move a bit further away because staying in clumps is bad news for area of attacks, and I will.
I didn't think about that.
Barry, that's very timely because the next group to go are the pirates who actually do have some ability with magic.
Yeah,
one of the
27 to
pirates.
hide.
One of the pirates who pulled himself out of the sphere of the Hunger of Hadar looks down at Bui and Miles, and he's going to cast a cloud of daggers.
No.
Counterspell.
Okay, what level are you counterspelling?
Level 3 because that's all I have.
Yeah, it counterspells. It's a level 2 spell. I was just saying that to double check. Perfect. As he
No
goes to
worries.
cast,
I wish
that
I could do a
spell-
level 2 one.
No, you can't. And even then, like it doesn't. You don't have to roll the spell unless it's higher than 3rd level. As he goes to cast the counter spell, you just block it immediately, and the spell fails.
No daggers.
No. The mage is then going to move up, not knowing where Barry is, and move up along the wall, trying to get a good view of the rest of the crew, specifically Jackson and Glub for the next attack. The other pirate crew, one of them's already dead. The last remaining one, who's on the bow of the ship there, he is going to make 2 standard shots with his crossbow, one at Glub, one at Jackson, as they are the closest to him. Glub, does a natural 1 hit you? I'm guessing not.
No, it does not.
Jackson, 15? That doesn't hit you, does it?
It does not, no.
Wow. As he does this and tries to make these shots from behind him, you hear the captain go, "Where are you aiming, you useless slug?" As he misses both shots.
Too.
Yeah. Glub, it is your turn.
Okay. For my bonus action, I'm going to use first my tentacle is going to make an attack against the guy at the end of that dock, who I think
Brilliant.
just hit
The
him.
pirate crew member closest. Yeah, absolutely.
14
hits. Absolutely.
5 cold damage as the tentacle caresses him.
Oh,
Appropriately.
no. That is exactly lethal. Would you like to describe his demise, please?
Oh, well then, this tentacle that is coming, this 10-foot tentacle coming out of the water, I think just wraps around him. And you can see like the mouths on the tentacle just like bite into his flesh as it pulls him immediately like under the surface. And then the tentacle sprouts back up without him.
And like maybe some torn strips of fabric and nothing else.
Yeah.
Bit of his
yeah.
underwear.
Yeah, bit of his underwear. Silently he's just pulled below the surface of the water, a little pool of bubbles, and then the tentacle emerges, sans pirate. Anything else on your turn, Glub?
Yeah, for my action, I'm going to point out to the captain and the non-crazy guy next to him.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cast Hold Person on the two of them.
Brilliant. So yeah, so the crazy guy is the
14.
one, the crazy guy's the one right next to him. The non-crazy guy is the one in front. I will quickly make some wisdom saves, I believe it is for whole person.
Yeah, 14.
That's a fail for the pirate, and that is a fail for the captain. Yeah, they both fail their whole person.
And then Glub, covered in his own blood, is going to start like running down the length of the ship away from everybody. Like he is going to go like below deck if he can.
Amazing. As you get in line with Keel, you can see Keel is casting some zone around him that is bursting with this radiant energy. As you run in line with him, you enter this area and you regain 9 hit points.
It was so close to dying. And the hunger of Hadar, I think, ends as all the various tentacles just like with the blackness just go back down into the goop.
Brilliant. As it does so, now revealing the pirate ship, it is destroyed. The tentacles have pulled the deck apart. Sections of ice cover the surface. The ship is ruined. Pirate crew, there's only one guy left who's... All right, well, actually, sorry, there's 2. One's under enemies abound. He's going to make an attack against his captain.
Is it instant crit?
Yeah, whole person. It is an instant crit because of the... yeah. I'm just rolling damage. I'll do the...
Nice.
Now I roll well. Oh, God. Oh
Sorry,
my
Captain.
God. Sorry, Captain. As he cuts him in twain. You just watch as that is 21 points of damage. You just watch as this crew member who's under the enemy's back goes, and slams down his longsword. The captain is just cut in half. Just splits in two and drops down into the murky water. The octopus around his neck.
holding him in place, like, are still just like keeping him.
Still locked in place. His little octopus familiar tries to like pull him back together and is unable to do so. That guy's going to then use his... Oh, well, actually, it's a familiar. So you watch as the octopus familiar winks out of existence. The crew member who is under the effect of enemies abound...
Does he have a second attack?
He does, and he's going to use his movement to rush up and make the second attack because it's as far as he's aware, suddenly he's surrounded by his enemies. That is going to be... It's a crit, so it doesn't matter. That's going to be... Okay, I'm rolling my normal shit rolls again. Don't worry, everybody. There's only going to be 9 points of damage. That's still enough, though. This guy had already taken 15 as he cuts his friend in half. Again, this time across the way. Unbelievable.
Shit, add him to the crew.
Yeah,
It's effective.
as he cuts his friend, going, "Die, filthy monster!" As he cuts his other friend in half, going, as again tentacles hold this person in place. Jackson, it's your go. There's really only one pirate left, apart from the one who's now on your side, apparently.
I'm gonna rely on him to join us. I'm gonna fly over this way, and I'm gonna take my 3 shots at that guy over there. If he's in cover, it doesn't matter because I've got sharpshooter.
He's not.
But I'm not using sharpshooter this time because I actually want to hit something.
He's gonna hit out. Yeah.
Amazing.
It's a 16 to hit.
Yes.
That will be 7 points of piercing damage.
Yep. Okay. Still up, but as the arrow flies into his kidney, you hear this groan from him. Coughs up a bit of blood.
Dirty 20.
That's definitely going to hit.
That's going to be another 8 points of piercing damage.
Josh, how does Jackson want to do this?
As he goes, ugh, and then goes up with his mouth still open, the other bolt goes straight through the mouth, out the other side, and pins him to the wall.
Oh my god. Yeah. As the body then sort of falls lifeless, the head kind of holding it in place against the rocky cave wall. I am going to take you out of initiative only momentarily because Enemies Abound lasts for a minute. My question is, when the spell ends, it sounded like you guys were thinking about trying to recruit him. Did you want to recruit him?
He's not actually going to see us as ally, so Barry will cancel the spell. Like if he does try to attack any of us, right? Like.
Well, my question was going to be, like, when the spell ends, because he's still going to see his enemies now, but my question is, when the spell ends, are you going to try and recruit this guy? Because I heard someone mention, I think it was Catalyst mentioned, we should recruit this guy. My question is, are you going to try and do that?
I mean, he just passed the test, right?
Yeah, we lost one crew member to the things earlier. May as well gain a new crew member.
Fantastic. Could I get you to please roll me an intimidation check with advantage, please, Barry?
Yes, please. I also have... if I roll 9 or lower, it's just an automatic 10.
Well, I think probably you're a +7 to intimidation, +5.
Yep,
that's a 21. Yeah, as the half-orc comes out of his stupor from the effects of Enemies Abound and then looks around at the cave filled with the bodies of his friends and crew, he immediately surrenders. And then as you offer him a place on your ship, Grumash is very keen to join your crew now that he is no longer gainfully employed. As we reach... Oh, you go.
We'd also like to ask him some questions about what they were doing here and the loot. Where is the loot?
I've got some good news for you. As you begin exploring the cave, he leads you to a large metal door embedded into the stone that they had been trying to force open, but had been unable to do so. As you press the glyph up against it, the keystone, the door unlocks, and inside is a treasure trove unlike any you have ever seen. Devices, materials, and items clearly enchanted and of a magical nature fill the room. More importantly, though, in the very center is a tiny figurine of a wooden boat, which Globra recognizes as a figurine of wondrous power. When this is exposed to seawater, it can take on 2 forms, a large longship or a submersible powered by pedals inside that you have to manually...
Jackson, dive!
Jackson, dive, pirates. I'm just going to go to Grimash and go, as part of the uniform, you've got to wear this red shirt.
He accepts it gladly.
That we pulled up.
Yeah, accepts it gladly. I've always wanted to be a red shirt. With that, the story of the Jackson Dive crew, the legend of the Jackson Dive crew truly begins. Feared on all 7 seas of Nostea, they become a force to be reckoned with. Some days working as privateers, others as pirates. But this crew, empowered by their very lucky find, begin a career on the open seas. And I think that is the perfect time to wrap up as we go just over by 4 cheeky minutes.
Just a little bit. It's fine.
Just a little bit.
Not bad.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. All you lovely players. Wonderful. That was fantastic. There were a couple of different battle maps I had ready to go, depending on which one you went to. The one that I described as sunny and lovely absolutely was this sunny beachside camping site where you could have hung out with a castaway who'd been lost. Had a bit of a chill time hanging out with him. There was the issue of him having eaten the rest of his crew and reanimated them as skeletons. But I mean, as we've discussed, Barry, that's not a red flag for Barry, the occasional consumption of other people. So that's what we've learned here today.
He just chose at the top of the
You don't have
the
to
food chain.
feed.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone who has donated, has been watching, has followed Corsairs Cove, has sent out some love. Thank you so much. We are so appreciative. It has been lovely sharing today with you. Thank you so much. You are all absolute bloody legends, and it is a joy and a delight to run a pirate one shot on International Talk Like Josh the Pirate Day. There will be more fun coming next. I believe you said, Karen, it's going to be some Baldur's Gate 3 with you and Josh.
Josh and I are going to play Baldur's Gate, and they're not allowed to wear armor or clothes. They must fight in only their knickers, for we have found the finest knicker merchant in Baldur's Gate, and we must show off his wares.
No one should be missing this. Make sure you have a chance to pop to the bathroom, grab something to eat, and get back here for that, because that's fucking epic.
I reckon we'll take 10 minutes, we'll come back at 15:15 and get into it. Or get out of it, really.
Yeah. I love that. Thank you so much, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure. We will see you all again really soon. But until next time, farewell.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.